I love powdered wigs. I think they look so cool. I don't care when anybody says the powdered wigs. I think look really nice.
Cool?
I think they look cool. I wish we lived in an era where like powdered wigs and like those neck bands and these clothes were like,
you want to wear like knee-high knickers with a powdered wig.
I think that, it's a nice style choice.
So you can see yourself in the camera right now.
I
you think that looks cool.
I think that looks very sharp.
At Mayo Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience NFL Divisional Round, spread picks, game previews. We got it all for you at Cust Corner. Everyone's new favorite segment, Judge Cust, will be here. Firings, injuries, there's a ton going on in the NFL here in the second round of the playoffs. I didn't want to start here with you, Geoff, but we buried the lead on the golf show on Monday. Are you feeling any better 48 hours later?
Yeah.
I
feel
that's good news.
like fine. I mean, it was not unexpected, but I hurt the most when it's a season that I actually think like they can win. I didn't think they could win the Super Bowl this year. I thought their ceiling was winning a playoff game, being a tough out. I think I've been pretty clear about that. Almost, some people say unfairly, because I took that mindset when Rashawn Slater went out in the preseason. But certainly when Alt went out, that was just the unfortunate reality. That like desperately would have liked Herbert to have won his first playoff game. Like that's a fact. He did not play well. It shows, there's a lot of hate for him, and it's deserved. 1's a game, 2 is back-to-back, 3's a streak, right? That's like how it works. Win one, like when you win or lose 2 in a row, and you're not on a streak. That's just called back-to-back. But 3, that's where a streak starts. So we're on a streak now, and it's hard to like imagine him pulling off like 4 in a row, having won 0, but that will be my expectation next year. I think in defense of him, it shows honestly like how bad this team is, what this team does when he's not Superman. And he carried them all year. And I mean, I don't even think it was like people like you acknowledge that I called it all year, but is the most generic foreshadowing any football fan saw early. The AFC, like the playoff teams were pretty determined for a while. Houston and Indy swapped, right? Looked like, hey, Chargers are going to be a wild card team. Herbert's carrying these guys on his back, and he's just going to get mollywopped week 1. And it sucks. And there were opportunities because the game felt in many ways like a lot of the games that they did win, except they didn't execute at all in the red zone, especially early. But the Patriots only scored 16 points, and, they won those games. They won them against, now I'm drawing blanks. They won them against like Pittsburgh and KC and Philly. I don't know if I said Philly once or twice there, but like that defensive game, like they would have won 16-13, 2016. So, the points that they normally score, like were there, they just were worse than normal. And Herbert never made a great play in the game. And he always makes a couple great plays. I think you guys would acknowledge, Tim, correct the record at all. This was like as calm as I ever was in a season, because it sort of felt like this result was like staring them in the face for almost 3 months.
Now that Herbert has completed the playoff loss turkey, is that why you are dressed as Turkish sensation Salt Bae?
I don't know what that means. I wear this shirt like I have like 7 of the same shirt. I get it at the outlet mall. It's like I wear it all the time. I don't know.
Well, let's get some reactions. Well, to the people behind the glass over here, the coin is here and in studio with us, who I need a comment on the Jets' proposal of 3 first-round picks for one Justin Herbert. It is Tim Andergust.
Not my name.
I need your comment.
I mean, really, Jeff talks about 3 in a row. It's really 4 in a row, because I don't care what you say. The Raiders-Chargers game was a playoff game, and they lost that one too. So it's really 4.
He played amazing, and he was so good that night.
Did they win?
Like godly.
man.
That was the fucking took over
4
that
minutes
one.
in.
Oh yeah,
minutes
listen, that yeah, maybe Tim's right. But as Harbaugh told the boys after the game, like who remains will be champions. And they got $100 million in cap room. They're getting 2 all-pro tackles back. Like, I think the window, I think like it's still easy to be very excited about the state of the Chargers. I think firing Greg Roman was crucial. I think if you watch that game, there wasn't like a single trick. They get in the red zone after an interception. They're at the 10. Their first play is like QB power. Like they had nothing. You see that touchdown the Texans scored to start the first touchdown of the game? That's just like sheer design. Like they can't move a ball for nothing. Just like the simplest misdirection. Chargers run none of that. It's 3rd and 2. They run a halfback dive behind the worst center in the league. And Pro Football Focus, we can giggle at the numbers, you can find out how real they are, how not real they are. Tim, how many teams this league got?
32.
Oh,
32.
Good
Why
answer.
does Bradley Bozeman come out 41 of 41?
Because that's how many people played at that position.
I know, but that's what we're working with. So I just, that's what you run right behind on like a 3rd and 2 from the 4. And on that first possession, Harbaugh always kicked all year. Like he always kicked. He just took the points. Then he didn't early, and then he felt he had to after. None of it mattered. Weird to see the league allow like judo karate chops directly to the head of the quarterback. That was disappointing because I think it would have put them in field goal range, but none of that would have changed the outcome of the game. But that was just that was frustrating, when things aren't going your way, and that happens when they're going to lose their defensive coordinator. So that's going to be really annoying. And hopefully Harbaugh, goes a bit off brand with who the offensive coordinator is. But you could think I'm crazy when I say this right now. I actually believe they overachieved this year. They could have thrown in that towel like a lot of times, and I was prepared for it. I thought it was coming.
And it did.
So that's just the that's like I love the culture that they've built. I think, but year 3 now of coach, it like starts. Everything's got to be in place. The roster can be in their vision. There's few teams, I think, in a position to like improve from their end of day roster to their opening day roster. But they got to play the games, and people got to stay healthy. And it's fun to think about what that could look like. And God, if I think he's going to be a head coach, but if you like, I can't wait to be God, please allow me to be on this show in the fall yelling about my capri pants, designer glasses, designer hat, not team hat offensive coordinator.
That's where I wanted to go with this. With Roman gone, Dayball and Mike McDaniel are just sitting there. They're probably going to end up with so many vacancies at head coach that they probably end up with another job. But you get to claim all the glory if you go to the Chargers or the OC and get
it's
them
attractive.
over the hump.
You think like people are going to want to, if people who are going to pick their spot might want it. Is that what you're
Yeah, certainly
saying?
not the most. It's not the most attractive job open, but it's one of them.
Yeah, it just for what you can bring to like the most milquetoast offense in the league. You get guys coming back, like you said, and then if you can make this offense great, they have pieces. So I think that Mike McDaniel will be a perfect fit. I don't think they're going to end up getting him. I think the Lions are a more attractive fit. The Eagles are an attractive fit. Hell, the Bills would be, but the Bills aren't going to fire their
I
offensive
love
coordinator.
Brian Daboll.
Yeah, I mean, Dayball would
I'd
be
be
good too.
so happy if they got Brian Daboll. I think that would be great. But I'll let Tim, you know what? I'll leave you guys. I'll let Jared, Tim, and Pat, you can handle the Chargers ranking on our, post-mortem league ranking show. But I think like the arrow for me is still pointing up. As upsetting as the end was, it felt like an inevitable ending. We foreshadowed it for months. But I guess here's the fortunate part. Tim, baby, hold out for a year. Because if there's ever a year I'm going to take your custody, it could be next year. Because I truly do believe, like, as a franchise, like, my expectation, like, your expectation was getting Justin Fields and being the greatest show on turf. And it's sort of
2.0.
why,
Not quite
it's
what I
sort
said.
of why
You said that they were the greatest
No.
show on turf 2.0.
That's not quite what I
it's
said.
sort of the reason. It's
No,
sort
it's
of
not
the
what I
reason
said.
I can never beat you is because
You should keep
despite the
trying.
crazy things I might say or might tweet, when it comes to like self-awareness, we are on different planets.
Usually
And I
people
think
who are
that
very
people-
self-aware don't tell everyone how self-aware they are.
No, I'm just saying I'm breaking down what has been the differentiator. That, in my opinion, that has been the differentiator. Why that I've never been able to beat you. In that regard. But
what if the
Pat would acknowledge and there've only been like 2 or 3 of them. When I think the Chargers, or my expectation is like preseason AFC Championship or Super Bowl, that is when I am my most deranged. So you'll get a treat next year.
Do you think that the Chargers offense would benefit if they were just powered by AI?
I think powered by AI would have been better than Greg Roman. Now, here's when I say, like, I thought I was very calm and behaved very well this year, Tim. You're making that face week to week. Like, when did I spaz about the Chargers? I got like nervous last week, but I don't think I spazzed at one point.
Until last week. That
was more of like a pre-playoff, like nervous release.
I can see that. Until last week, you were pretty well behaved about
You know what? And the one time, Pat, I think I got like upset at them. Tim yelled at me that like I'm not allowed to be upset because he's a Jets fan and he's, you know, I made that analogy like my partner won't get me like this designer bag and he's like getting smacked around at home, so I can't complain. That's what that felt like earlier this year. But here's the thing. Yeah, next year I truly believe they have to like not just win a playoff game, they have to win multiple playoff games. Like they just have to. That is where they are in the program and the window. And I don't think I even had any like, yeah. All I wanted from this year was them to win a playoff game, and they failed. That was preseason. But I still think overall they overachieved, which is maybe weird to say, but that's how I feel. And I never freaked out this year because I didn't believe in the ceiling. So what was there to freak out about Greg Roman like play calls? But it was eating at me all year, and now he's gone. That's all. And Tim didn't even think he was going to be fired, which, like, I don't know what like football orbit he lives in, but that was weird.
The one that does nothing but looks at mock drafts day in, day out, to be perfectly honest with you.
Where would Justin Herbert rank in of all the quarterbacks that have been rumored to the Jets? Because now I've seen Jalen Hurts rumors coming. Right, those started on Saturday night. I don't know that the Herbert one feels the least real, but would you power rank him number 1 of the rumors, or maybe Joe Burrow number 1?
I would Burrow or Hurts,
hold on.
actually.
I have some inside info on how Cust feels about this. On that trade that was proposed, the first round picks for Herbert, Cust said you would say what to that trade?
No, I'm not giving up 3 first-round picks for a quarterback who's, yes, he's been good, but he's 29 years old and has been awful in the playoffs. And like, I'm not going to short circuit my rebuild to bring Justin Herbert in. The Jets would say no to that trade, including a pick that's the number 2 pick in the draft. There's not a team in the NFL who would say yes to that trade.
Right.
For 3 first-round picks. It's just that's too steep. That is just too steep. Like, that's Joe Burrow price. And like, Joe Burrow has injury problems and doesn't stay healthy, but like, he's a cut above any of the other quarterbacks we're talking about. And Hurts has his problem. Hurts has been to 2 Super Bowls and has won a Super Bowl and has played really well in big spots.
Through the same pass like 17 times in the playoff game, including, did you see the final drive? They ran 4 plays.
And they no longer have an offensive coordinator because of it in part.
Funny? The Eagles did what like you would, when I needed a money drive in Madden like 10, 15 years ago when I actually played.
Tight end
really
cross?
Just like recycling through like 5 plays that I'm running over and over again. That's what the Eagles do. It's weird.
I thought Vidal was playing great on Sunday night, and I thought it was a crime they didn't feed him the ball more often. He was playing
Are
great.
you blind? Their best play was a fumble Rooski.
I mean, that was their best play, but he was actually
And
running
Tim,
the
I
ball
had
pretty
to watch
effectively.
another starting Chargers running back in a trench coat on the sidelines. In
I
New
did know
England
that.
in a
I
playoff.
saw it, and he didn't have the dark visor on, but they did cut to him, and I went, oh dear.
Yeah, that's
I can
exact
only
same
imagine.
Shot. That shot existed. You could just rinse and repeat that shot. Listen, it's not a.
That place is a house of
they
horrors for
needed
you
him
too.
in that game too. They they know Vidal sucks. Like he's fine, but he once we're in the playoffs, Vidal sucks.
It's frustrating because, like, to look back on it, like May played terribly.
Well,
May was trying to give the game away
in the first half. He played well in the second half.
He played much better in the second, but the first half he was terrible.
It's. I don't want to say it's shocking that they didn't win because I didn't expect New England's defense to step up the way that they did. But that's the game that that we thought that they would play defensively. And that's why I thought the Chargers would win the game because they would play like that.
They've been in that game and they've done that before. They just executed better with time of possession, extending drives, and putting points on the board. But yes, that game felt identical to other games this year for which they actually won. As weird as that was. So yeah, maybe opportunity lost, but like, come on. That group, like making a run of playoff wins. Like, you think I was joking when I foreshadowed that stuff for 3 months, Tim? Like, wasn't that always right in front of this group?
Sure.
What about when they were the best team in the AFC?
I didn't expect them to no-show against the Texans, then no-show against the Patriots. That surprised me.
Well,
what did they score in the Texans game? They lost by 4 points. You
How many points did they score?
Kicker.
16?
They scored 16 points and they scored 3 points. You know,
Yeah,
if they have a top 10 QB,
and
you don't play like that. You don't play like that.
I would argue
Sorry.
I'm a very good person to have an opinion on that playoff game this week because those are the Chargers' last 2 games. I'm quite familiar. If you want to do this, it is goddamn polarizing, boys. I know we talk about announcers a lot, but when you get like the A teams in succession, like back to back to back to back, the performance levels are even more jarring. Out of this world. Tony Romo should be thankful that Al Michaels is the shield that Al Michaels is. Tony Romo is horrific. What do you think goes through Jim Nance's head? What a colossal miscalculation. Like, Jim Nance listens to Greg Olson and thinks, oh my God, what I could be ending my career beside. And instead, he has this guy who, I make 5. I got my Tom Brady thing. I think we've spoken all year. He's improved. You could tell the time and effort he puts in. You could tell he put in time and effort again. Tony Romo doesn't do a goddamn thing, and he just embarrasses himself. And he's not 81 years old. So it's not acceptable.
Tony Romo was turned into Krusty reading his lines. He just kind of shows up, says his lines, and leaves.
Jacksonville's a real team, Jim. I don't know if you know this. They can win this game. If they win today, they can win the Super Bowl.
They could win. No, they could win this game. They could win next week if they win this game, Jim.
They're a good team, Jim.
Jim, there's a lot of similarities between Jacksonville and Carolina. People don't know about it, but they're in the kind of the exact same spots.
At one point, he referred to the Jaguars as an overdog. Because they're underdogs, except they're not underdogs in the game, so they're overdogs. And I was like, yeah.
But I think he shot up his forehead with Botox.
I brought this up weeks ago.
Okay, yeah.
Weeks ago.
So I finally noticed.
Yeah, I mean, like, we'll talk about it later, but like the fact that CBS like got the early Saturday game to get them out of the way, like that's rough.
I think that's just how it.
I think it's how the cards got
just
dealt.
How the card fell. They had 2 NFC games that were just premium markets, and Fox had the double bill, and Prime has showed up to get a great game on Saturday night.
I mean, this week to once again give them the early game to get them out of the way.
Well, they have the better AFC game. That's why they took it.
But the worst slot.
It is, but it's the better game.
Yeah,
it is.
They're just going to the better game. That just is what it is.
The thing that Romo still has going for him is that none of the other announcers have his infectious enthusiasm for football. He does seem genuinely excited by football.
I agree. I like when people are excited about what they're doing.
Like it's the whole Gus Johnson effect of everything. Gus Johnson is miles ahead.
It's like
Tony
I don't
Romo
know.
was
These weirdos who are out there criticizing Fernando Mendoza for like being too earnest and too
he's
interested.
not too earnest.
He's
he is programmed by
No,
AI. He is actually powered by AI.
I actually
All you
think
gotta
I think
do
he's
is win.
great. I like that. I think he's
When
great.
you win, being corny's fine. Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, but when you're
I think he's
losing,
just a nice person.
No,
When
Mendoza
you're
is like
losing
Russell
the
Wilson on
corny-
the spectrum.
I don't
is what
agree.
he
I
is.
don't agree with that. I think
Like
he's very.
you wait for the Mendoza awful TikToks that are coming.
I find him to be very charming. I have to say.
Hold
I find
on.
him to be utterly
Is
charming.
One read quarterback.
I think as a football player, he's got some holes, but as a like on camera when he's talking to people, I think he's
That's
utterly
great,
charming.
Great camera, great story. God, say a prayer for this kid. He could be cursed now.
I certainly need I would really like to see Indiana win on Monday night too. So like, go Hoosiers.
Additionally, after
Why,
you
what is
call
your beef there?
Because Miami doesn't deserve to even be there, let alone win the national championship.
Oh,
why
here
they
we
beat
go.
Notre Dame, they had the best one in the country.
Get out of here.
Dante Moore didn't do so well after you started praying. You called Mendoza a one-read quarterback. Then Dante Moore's out there, one-read pick six.
Yeah, that was a rough performance.
He was playing the Jets playbook.
He fits,
Sam, here's the
right
thing.
in.
You know, I get more. I had some happier days, but all my 11 wins got me was one more week of sad football than your, shit season. So it's really, what's that worth? One win for the differences? I mean, 1 week?
I guess.
That's not a good trade.
I guess I would make that trade though.
People can vote in the Custy Awards right now. The voting is open. You can hit the description. You killed Bob Weir on the weekend.
I didn't. I was just listening to a couple of Grateful Dead songs while I was driving somewhere, and the news broke like an hour later.
It's tough.
That guy looked real old for 81.
81's pretty old. My grandfather turns 81 in like a week's time. He's looking pretty old.
Like, I'm not a huge Grateful Dead fan.
But you were just like, no, I need to put this on right now.
But I was listening to a couple other songs. Anyway, that
What songs
was
were
weird.
you listening to?
I was listening to "Friend of the Devil," which I think is their best song. And then like it just YouTube had a repeat.
I don't want to get copyrighted. We already have a copyright strike.
No, I was
Geoff.
just gonna do it. I was gonna do a 27 instrumental and like find the part, where it like just Tim got lost in it,
Mike Tomlin stepped down as Steelers coach.
What's so funny?
It's the way you said that, where you got lost.
Can Mike Tomlin be the Chargers OC next year?
This is great.
No,
He can take a year
think
off,
one of the
go do
reports
football,
said
and then
that
come to the
he's
Jets next season. This is great.
stepping away from football, or did I read that wrong?
Yeah, he's gonna step. I think he is gonna do TV for a year. I think that seems pretty obvious. And he'll be fine on TV. And then if he's got the bug to coach next year, there'll be opportunities. And if not, he could be our new Bill Cowher, where like for the next 15 years, people will say, well, he's available and just never leaves TV if he loves it. He doesn't need to do anything else. Like he coached for 19 years and won a Super Bowl and like never had a losing record. Like he can just not coach anymore if he doesn't want to.
How in demand do you think he is as a coach right now in this current coaching market?
For teams
Very
that are
high.
But for like what
He
teams?
won. I would actually argue he would be the number one ranked, even
for
if
some
he's
teams,
not the best.
other teams wouldn't really
This
want
is
him.
what I'm getting at, though.
But
Some
like if
teams
you're a
would
team
want
that
him.
needs seriousness, like the Giants, like the Raiders,
the Jets,
well, the Jets don't have an opening.
the Dolphins,
The Dolphins, if you need like serious adult coaching that will do a professional job, he's like on the top of your board.
Yeah.
But if you're someone like Baltimore, or if you're somebody like, I don't know, I'm trying to think who else like who has a job opening, who like really thinks they can make a jump and soon, like he's not your guy. Atlanta, he would not be the guy for Atlanta either, I don't think.
Ooh, it's funny.
I don't think so.
I have one spot that actually is not open that I think would be perfect for Mike Tomlin. But what plagues Atlanta? Stupidness.
Yeah, but there's other.
Can he
They
come
need
in?
voodoo. They need good voodoo.
Yeah. Can he switch their voodoo and all of a sudden that they become the team that everyone
He
wants?
can be
them
good
to
in
be?
Tennessee. That's a team that needs seriousness.
Yeah, I don't think like rebuild is where you want him.
I don't think like young quarterback. They need more of like an offensive guy to build the quarterback. No,
I just think he'd be the perfect Cowboys coach.
I agree.
I don't
Like
think-
that's the spot
Sure.
for him.
That's not going to become open.
If
Not for a while. Not for a
Tomlin
while.
said, "Hey, I want this job."
I
Jarrett
think
might be
Jerry's
like,
an
"Oh."
extremely loyal for type of owner. He's actually extremely loyal. Schottenheimer's going to have that job at least 1 year longer than he has any right to.
What is a worse job right now? The Browns or the Steelers?
Browns.
Steelers.
Oh, it's the Browns.
it's the
It's the
Steelers.
Browns, and it's not close.
Steelers.
I mean,
It's not actually in the same stratosphere.
At least the Browns have good rookies.
The Steelers still have
Steelers.
a very strong.
I would rather the
infrastructure.
Browns job than have to take over the Steelers.
Steelers are fine. Steelers are literally in need of a
It
competent
just seems
game
like an
managing quarterback,
incredibly
and you're fine.
veteran team. They traded draft capital for DK. I'd rather have more of the blank slate than in Cleveland in the extra draft picks.
Not a blank slate in Cleveland. Still-
Well, it's a very.
Oh, so you have the baggage of the history.
and like you still have someone on the books for
You have
100.
one-
You're looking for a quarterback
and you have
everywhere.
this-
I'd
the
rather
Sanders
the cap
nonsense.
better capital.
I don't want anywhere near the Cleveland Browns. You'd be like that to me. That's the worst job available.
Worse than
I'm more-
Arizona.
well,
Yeah, worse than Arizona. That's the worst job available.
did you guys see Jesse Minner's a full 8 for 8 on interviews? And I'm sure Pittsburgh, he's a young guy. He fits their I'm not saying he'd get that job, but
He's gone.
in terms of what they've done in the past,
He's
like a
gone.
young coordinator,
He's gone.
he's gone unless he doesn't want to leave, but that seems unlikely. It sucks.
Tom wanted the Raiders.
Again, I don't think he wants to coach. By the sounds of the press release, he wants to not coach for a year or so. I believe him. It's been 19 years.
What can you really
You
take
could
away
be
from a
saying
press
that for
release?
leverage too. You never know, but it did seem
Maybe.
like stepping away did seem like he's just going to take a breather for a year or two and
Yeah.
he's Tim's point. Like he's going to either be Bill Cowher and come back in a couple years or stay forever at a network. Probably
Yeah,
replace
like,
Matt Ryan
I
on
was just
the
about to
desk
say,
there.
CBS has an opening on the desk. He'd be great there.
That's actually maybe that's why he made
You
the
have,
move.
you have him and Cower on the same desk.
Steelers football.
I actually think it would be a great spot. If I were he, that's where I'd want to go.
So the Eagles fired their OC. Everyone's pretty happy about that. Maybe he could be the Chargers OC.
I don't understand what Nick Sirianni does around here. It's like office space style. What do you do around here? You fight with your second best
In
player.
fairness, AJ Brown seems awful to deal with.
Yeah, but you know what you don't do? You don't have a shouting match with him on the sidelines. You don't need to do that. You don't need John Gibbons out here fighting Shea Hildebrand in the locker room.
Don't talk about Skip like that.
I'm just saying something that happened, Jeff. I'm not. It didn't work out well.
So where do you what do you think if we had to give like the optimal spot for some of these guys? Do you think that McDaniel ends up becoming a coach again right away?
A head coach? No,
Yeah,
I do not.
I do.
I think he's
When you're the number one ranked offensive guy in a crowded defensive scene, I think someone is just going to be like, we'll take that. Maybe it's Tennessee. The thing about Tennessee, at least in my group chats, my friend who likes them, he's a pretty big like wiener and we make fun of him for that.
so he loves Mike
And
McDaniel.
Well, yeah, but not only that, like we give him a real hard time that for Miss Amy, getting rid of Rabel because he said some cuss words or he's not about good guy culture or he didn't buy into like the woke agenda. And Mike McDaniel seems like perfect for Tennessee, but the problem is it would like backfire. Like it won't work. It would not work.
What was Tennessee's woke agenda?
Miss Amy getting rid of Mike Vrabel because he wasn't into good guy culture. Like he was a tough football guy and she wanted like a nice guy. She wanted like nice guy, good guy culture. Pat, like the things that they teach in school that like me, you and Vrabel were older than, like we didn't get those lessons and like what you can't say in the playground.
Okay.
Also, on a separate note, I think off-season content, I'll give like my top 5. Everyone just thinks I stand where I stand, but I want to give my like top 5 like lib takes that I have. And I think people's like heads would spin on like what I actually am. We'll do that. Off-season culture.
Off-season content with Geoff.
I'll take a bye week. I'll take a bye week that week.
No, they're not bad things.
I'm
You know
basically
what?
taking a bye
I'll
week.
be
Jeff's
honest.
gonna be a
There'll
lib
be
to own the libs.
honestly, there'll probably be things that offend Tim.
I'm basically on bye this week anyway. So
There'll
Where's
be things that offend Tim anyway. So
Where's
like, that's
Mint-
the thing. Like Tim would be like, "Whoa, I would never agree to that."
where is Minter's best landing spot?
Baltimore, but maybe they don't want because he's got all of like he is. Why I think he's going to Baltimore is because he represents Mike McDonald, who they feel like they let get away, if that makes any sense, that they should have done this a year ago or made him the coach. And he is essentially the identical coaching tree to Mike Macdonald. He's been through both Camp Harbaughs. He's already been to the Ravens for a bit. He, right. So he sort of fully understands the way. You could argue that the Ravens, as people think they'll want to, get an offensive guy for Lamar, there might be a case that the owner actually wants to get back to their defensive roots. Like that is Ravens football. But maybe they want no part of, maybe they're done of the Harbaugh business, and that would say we don't want Minter. But if you're asking me, the smart money seems like Baltimore.
I mean, what if the Harbaughs came out with an off-season video where they gave their 5 biggest woke takes? Would that get them back in the good books?
It would shock everybody, but please, Miss Amy.
No, listen, Miss Amy.
This is a take.
Miss Amy sabotaged her franchise for good guy culture. Like, you guys are laughing. This is like documented. I'm just saying it in a way that might make people uncomfortable. She fired Vrabel because he wasn't about good guy culture.
I mean, she also may have fired Vrabel because they went as far as they could with Vrabel. Vrabel getting all this pub for being a great coach this year is just, it's not it.
Been fine.
Well,
he's been a
great
fine coach.
or not. Like, he's clearly a culture setter.
Certainly after the Gerard Mayo
You know what's a
nuclear
better,
meltdown, yes, he's been a better
setter?
coach.
Your QB taking a leap to be an MVP and you playing the easiest schedule
it
in
helps
30
that
years.
the QB he had nothing to do with choosing or drafting happens to be, the best QB, in the division. That helps.
Arthur Smith to the Chargers.
It's pretty embarrassing when the coach is going to win coach of the year and you're like looking for your second coach in like 2 years since you fired him.
Sure, he shouldn't be coach of the year, by the way. Mike McDonald.
It should be Mike McDonald.
Mike McDonald or Kyle Shanahan should be the coach of the year.
I was saying Kyle Shanahan here 8 weeks ago, and I still vote for Kyle Shanahan, but McDonald is
Mike
excellent
McDonald
candidate.
is the 1 seed in the tougher conference and exceeded expectations by every, like, that is what should be coach of the year.
He didn't lose both of his tackles and somehow make the playoffs. So I mean,
Pardon?
He didn't lose both of his tackles and somehow miss the playoffs. So I mean, maybe it should be Jim Harbaugh who's coach of the year.
Jim Harbaugh, I thought, did a good job, but nowhere close to coach of the year.
So you have McDaniel, Dayball, Stefanski, and Cliff Kingsbury is going to get some buzz for something. I'm still
not convinced Marcus Freeman is staying in Notre Dame.
Oh yeah, he's going to Pittsburgh.
I think if Pittsburgh wants him and he wants to go to Pittsburgh, that would be a match made in heaven. And there's another 20-year head coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers right there in Marcus Freeman. I could totally see it. I don't think the ink is dry on that contract, and Notre Dame would let him go if he wanted to go. Yeah, I do. All right. I'm going to try not to take that one personally. But yes, Freeman would be a perfect coach for Pittsburgh. He fits all the criteria. Young, scrappy, very successful, head on his shoulders. He would be like a prototypical perfect Pittsburgh Steelers coach.
I think he's going.
I don't even think there's going to be an interview beyond him, honestly. I think if he says, yes, I want to go, he'll be his job that day. I think there'll be no further.
You're looking good, man.
It's the shirt. I noticed it when I walked in.
Good.
Well, apparently, I was wanting to make... Other people are allowed to wear loud shirts on this show, not just you. I thought, well, it's my turn to style. If you're just going to wear a white T-shirt like Salt Bay, I was going to wear something nice. But no, thank you, Geoff. I appreciate the commentary. I do.
You're looking good. You're not as clean shaven as you've been lately, but it's pretty tight. You're looking good.
I appreciate your kind words. They're well deserved, and I like them.
Okay, good. I'm happy to put a little air in your tires, in your Corolla tires. Yeah,
they're a Camry tires. I mean, I don't even know I don't know where we are. I feel like I've been off this week. I've been off this week. It feels like.
Did you blush?
You did a little bit.
I'll bring you back into the fold here. Odds were released on Tua's next team.
Yeah, all right, whatever.
The leading contenders to land Tua.
Yeah, I know.
Are the New York Jets.
Honestly, like if we draft a quarterback,
are they the greatest show on turf 3.0?
No, but like if they draft
2.1 with Tua,
if they draft a quarterback at 2 and they sign Tua, I don't care. Start Tua for the 6, 7, 8 weeks. Start him for the year. I don't care. Next year's a write off anyway. It's just about getting Moore, who I think has a learning curve. Although if he hits his learning curve, could be excellent.
Moore might go back to school instead of going. He's been advised not to come out and go to the Jets.
Yeah, someone just transferred over into Oregon. He's gone.
Yeah, they just brought in
He's
a
gone.
quarterback to Oregon that there's no way that guy would go there, I believe, if Moore was coming back.
I rate
So-
that the same way. If the Jets want him, that'll be their guy at 2. And if they do want him, okay. I think, unlike some past Oregon Duck quarterbacks that haven't been successful in the playoffs, I think he can be successful in the playoffs.
Because we just saw him be successful in the playoffs.
You're
he did
not
win one
going to
game.
do this.
No. But what
You're
I'm going
not
to say
gonna
is
do this. You're not gonna do this.
he needs time.
You're not
He
going to do
needs-
this.
He can't start week 1. We ruined Wilson. We ruined Darnold. We've ruined quarterbacks
I
playing
hope
too
you
early.
get Joey fucking Harrington.
I hope that whoever we get, if we get him, yeah, okay. If we get Moore, we give him like 8 weeks to a whole year not to play. That'd be fine. So if you're telling me that Tua is going to play
You
quarterback,
think,
I'm writing the
you
year
think
off anyways.
Britt-
What do I care?
You think Britt Johnson would allow that? What's the name? Cooper?
Brick Johnson.
I like to think that they will understand how valuable that investment is. And look, if you take him, then you also have afterwards 5 first-round picks over the next 2 years to build around him at an incredibly cheap contract. So, like, it's not the worst thing in the world.
And then here's what you got to do. Sort of like we see with a lot of teams, Gerard Mayo, Matt Eberflus. You'll bring it. He'll come into a defensive coach, and then in a year he'll be fired, and you'll bring in your offensive guy to lead the quarterback.
That'd be great.
I have heard Justin Herbert be called Zesty Derek Carr this week.
Like, because it's 48 hours afterwards, I refuse to bang on Herbert the way that I think he deserves right now. For Geoff's sake, as a friend, I don't want to take the shots at Herbert that I think he is deserved right now. We're going to let it slide. We're just going to let it slide. But like, he's got 1 year left to start proving things before the Chargers have to start maybe thinking about drafting a quarterback.
Gunnar
a year.
Rivers.
He's got a year. He's got it next year. He has to
that's
prove
like
himself.
a year ahead of the Gunnar Rivers timeline.
What
for
I'm
him.
saying is that if it's 6 or 7 straight years of not hitting your ceiling, at what point do you actually have to start thinking about, is this my guy?
We'll see. Hopefully, God willing, we get a game in which
I hope so. I'm not cheering against him. I'm
he's
cheering for you.
responsible for them losing.
I want him to be the second best Oregon Duck in the NFL. I really do.
Well, what if Moore doesn't go to the Jets?
Well, that'd be fine. Then whoever they draft, if they draft like the pass rusher from Ohio State, that'd be okay. Draft a project
If I was
QB.
the Jets, I'd even fire my coach just to hire Kubiak in Seattle.
I would fire Glenn. I would have fired him 6 weeks ago. I'd fire him today, but like it's not going to happen.
because
So like,
it just feels
what are
like
you
you're
gonna do?
delaying the absolute inevitability, and then
don't
you might as
expect
well just
don't
start
expect competence from incompetence. Don't apply logic.
But I'm
or
just saying,
common
like,
sense. Just don't do it.
Listen, you're
just
at the
don't
start.
do it.
You're at the very beginning of like a new era, so you have the year.
I
to
hope so, because
burn.
this is as rock bottom as it gets.
Yeah, but no, I'm not even
if
saying
this
that
isn't
as
the
an
end
insult,
of the era, this is
but-
dark.
But so like, yes, you technically have the window to burn, the year to burn, because there's no window that's open for to be wasting.
Yeah,
But it just feels like the program could get a year head start. if
I
you just
agree.
accept what will be happening in a year from now. Just do it today.
Look, you are preaching to the converted. I agree. It's not going to happen. This is a team run by people who have very short-term thinking. And Aaron Glenn is probably a great guy to hang out with, and he's a Jets legend, and they don't want to make him a one and done, and they don't blame him for, trading away their very best players at the trading deadline
Robert
and leaving him
Kraft
at nothing.
Didn't want to make Gerard Mayo a one and done, but he,
It's a little different. It's a little different.
Yes and no, though.
It's a little different. Like, that Patriots team had a type of, like, the Jets' problem wasn't that they were dysfunctional this year.
Less
The Jets'
different,
problem was that they
yeah,
were terrible.
Maybe more insulting because he was like preordained the job 2 years before he got
Yeah,
it.
that doesn't
year.
work. That never works. Mike Holmgren did that too with Jim Mora Jr. and he was gone after a year. That never works. But can I just say the one thing that makes me happy coming in here today is to see Rodgers lose. That was great. Even though he once again took a shot at us last night in losing. About
Why?
how he said, I've been lucky to spend my career with teams that have a great history and are good franchises. I've been a member of 2 of them. And saying, okay,
That's accurate, but hold on a second. If there's a baseball player, let's just say there's a baseball player and he's played for the Yankees and he played for the San Francisco Giants and he also played for the Tampa Bays. And he said it was an honor to get to play for like two of the great historic franchises.
What Geoff is saying is that the Jets are the Miami Marlins.
Well, I wish, because the Miami Marlins have won 2 World Series in the last 20 years, 30
But
years.
he did
But
try
the
to make it
the Jets
about
are
the
a charter franchise of the AFL. They're not an upstart team. It's just that he can't
no, but
resist.
he's saying I played for these blue.
He did
bloods."
it. He did it. The Jets are a blue blood
No,
too.
no, they are not.
You don't get to take. He took a shot at them last week in victory, talking about how well organized things were, unlike last year. Took a shot at us last week for no reason. It was completely
You think the Jets are a blue blood franchise?
What I'm saying is, it couldn't make me happier to see him lose again. And goodbye. He got another coach fired. Good work. He's
Made the playoffs.
He's the living embodiment of that meme of the Grim Reaper knocking on doors that are crossed out. Now, whose door is he knocking on next?
He's just the cat flying away because it's over.
Yeah, exactly. It's nothing his fault. Nothing his fault. It wasn't his fault last night that the Texans had 17 turnovers and he did nothing with the Texans. You talk about a team trying to lose a game. The Texans played as poorly as you could play and won that game.
I've never seen a more misleading final score in my life.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were dominating the game, but
you can dominate, then you actively give the ball away. And you still win,
that's fine,
still win
but
by 24 points.
I would say the score is actually representative because
yeah, I agree with Geoff. Like the fourth quarter was weird, but like the Steelers were being crushed all game. The Texans were turning it over.
They were turning it over because they couldn't block, and the Steelers were all over them.
It wasn't just that. There was a bad pick down on the goal line.
To start the second half, they go all the way.
This is my worst nightmare. Because like this Bills Patriots championship game is happening.
Didn't you all think Pittsburgh was going to win 9?
I thought they'd cover.
Going into the fourth quarter, where it was a 1-point game, I thought for sure Pittsburgh.
I thought they were at least going to cover, but like this Patriots Bills championship game is happening, and so I just have to steel myself for it now.
I see. I thought there should have been another coaching, and I could be way off on this. I want to see if you guys agree with me, because I know Paul did not agree with me, but he's also a jaded Bills fan. Sean McDermott should have been fired after the game.
I understand where Paul was coming from.
Because he has that scar tissue.
Because he assumes, probably not incorrectly, they'd fumble the snap.
And then there's a false start.
There'd be a false start. There'd be a hold. Something stupid would happen because this team is star-crossed.
Maybe twice.
No, if you kneel it once, you have to kneel it twice. You're not kneeling it, you're just falling on the ball.
Once is probably enough.
No, it's not, because they haven't.
Because you want to have three
plays one timeout left.
You want 3 cracks at it.
Two cracks from if you can properly fall on the ball at the half-yard line, you get 2 cracks to win the game.
Say most
if you give them the ball back 15 seconds.
Most quarterbacks in the league, I would say, I need 3 cracks. With Josh Allen, I'd say, you know what? Let's waste more time. 2 cracks.
I certainly would have taken 1 knee, but I mean, Paul's point was this team is so star-crossed.
This is the Bills.
Everything goes wrong for them. You don't look a gift horse in the mouth. You take the touchdown, and you know what? In the end, they were right. They did win.
Sure,
so,
but when you were watching that game,
I did not agree with the strategy.
And they should have been a quick clue when Liam Cohen's like, "Let them score."
Yeah,
we have a kicker who can make 70-yard field goals.
I'm not convinced. As Liam Cohen, would have made that decision. I think I would have sold out to try to stop them because I'm ahead, and if I stop them and they don't score, I win the game.
I think they know I think it was indicative that they know they can't stop that play. Wow. They just tried and gave up 11 yards.
They had a whole week to figure out how to stop that play.
They couldn't stop it all game.
That's an indictment against the team. If you
sure, but at least one good part about coaching is knowing the team that you have and being like, "Hey, we're going to sell out here."
Either which way,
give us as much time as possible.
I get why the Bills didn't, even though I would have, because they just we just got to score. We just got to get it in, man. I get it. I understand that logic. The Chiefs don't have to do that. The Bills do.
Look,
I get it.
I would have felt the same way, but while wanting it the other way.
Exactly. I would have wanted the Jets to score and not wanted the Jets to score. But I get it, because they would fumble on the goal line. They would fumble the snap.
Yeah.
They would hold somebody.
Listen,
they would be called for 12 men in the huddle or something stupid. It just would happen.
There's also the flip side to it of if something like that happens, then you actually do get fired.
Yes.
And there's no downside of McDermott because no one's going to kill him
for scoring
a touchdown.
No, it's true.
When you're just looking at it, you're like, this is the Bills. You have this kicker on the other side who has the most range in the league.
Yeah. Who missed an important kick earlier in the game.
He's not automatic, but he does have that range. They need to get 15 yards to get into field goal range.
Yeah, worst case, if I'm the Bills coach, I'm like, If my season comes down to him having to make a 65-yarder, I'll take those chances.
Sure, but you could have given Josh Allen 2 sneaks from the half-yard line to win the game and walk off the field.
We're in violent agreement here, but I get why they didn't, even though I don't agree with it.
Number 2, why are teams going for 2 when they should in the playoffs? This makes no sense to me.
It's a very weird decision-making process. I think, in part, teams are going for it on 4th down so often, they're using up their 2-point plays.
Maybe, but okay,
I think that's actually
why
a
does
reason.
John Harbaugh go for it once on 4th down? It doesn't work. So then it's living in the moment. But now I'm not going to go for it.
I
Kick
was
a field
shocked
goal.
that Jim Harbaugh kicked that field goal the second time. That was horrible.
You guys see?
You go for it once, you go for it twice. You either hit on 16 against a 7 or you don't.
Yeah.
And you have to keep doing that.
Zach Taylor, after going 6-11, is the only coach in the North that still has his job.
You mean the only coach in that division who's been to the Super Bowl in the last decade?
The only coach in that division whose owner is too cheap to fire a coach.
Yeah, but I mean, the return would be
the worst coach in the league is his job.
the response would be he's been to a Super Bowl in the last 10 years. What have those guys
So
been?
good. That gives him a lifetime justification. That's all the owner needed.
The owner is both
mission
loyal.
structure to never fire the guy.
The owner is loyal and he is cheap.
He is not loyal. He is cheap.
No, but he's both though. Like
if he was loyal, he'd be like doing good things for his employees, like providing them daycare.
he doesn't fire
Would
people.
Marvin Lewis give you stability? Would you be happy with that?
Of course, you don't know what I would give
Jim
for
Caldwell?
stability. How many times have I been the apostle of Jim Caldwell on this show? I will take any serious coach, anyone serious, except for like Gruden, who I am surprised isn't getting interviews in this cycle. Thought I would hear his name.
Why
He's
don't
not.
you want Gruden?
I don't need that. I don't need that drama.
Isn't not
you
woke
don't
John
need,
Gruden
like-
still canceled?
I don't know. I thought that
Is
he
he
might.
suing the league or
I
something?
thought he might be in the mix for an interview or two. But
I
the
think
fact that
he is
he's
doing the league, and I think he won the right to have Discovery, which was a big win for him.
Why isn't Flores getting talked up? Is he just out forever as
he
an
did.
NFL head coach?
He had an interview today. Did he not?
He's got some interviews. Unfortunately, Ryan
The
Fitzpatrick.
Ravens, I believe, he had an interview.
Ryan
with.
Fitzpatrick
makes
has
sense.
come out and said he's like the worst guy ever. And Ryan Fitzpatrick was the guy who got benched, who even
They
people
benched 2 of
thought
4.
that
Yeah,
he liked Flores because that's who Flores wanted to play. But Fitzpatrick said you would not find a single person in Miami who would say a nice thing about Flores.
fair enough.
That being said, I would think him and Flores Dable, that'd be a fun little like tag team there. If he got a job. I think Flores deserves a job, but I don't know the inner workings of that stuff.
Geoff, did you have any particular take on that lady who told Liam Cohen she did a good job?
Yeah, I think like the uppity media people can just fuck right off. You're
couldn't
such
agree more.
I thought that was a
fucking
great
losers.
moment. That was a great
I
moment.
agree, but there was like, I went to Northwestern. You can't do that.
I thought that was such a
Fuck
wholesome
off.
moment. Like, good
Hey,
work.
These like sniveling like beat writers with their
Yeah.
fucking access who are like so offended and they're so cliquey. And then sure, make fun of her behind the scenes. That's okay. But I'm of an age where like I know fucking local news, and every town's got their like 40-year tenured local news legend, and they can say whatever they want.
It's true.
Like, I mean that. Like, holy shit. We are talking about football.
Who's
These
that person in
coaches are
Toronto?
more available than the mayor makes themselves available. And who gives a shit?
Who's that person in Toronto, Jeff? Who's that 40-year tenure?
Well, I think they're all like retired.
It would have been Steve Murphy around here.
Yeah, it would have been.
Who I was on a plane with one time and might be the whitest person I've ever seen in my life.
I would've thought
he
maybe-
is clear.
I thought maybe like Bob McGowan might have been that person.
He's in
No, but Bob McCown is like too much of like old school media where like press conferences. He wouldn't do that. I'm not saying would be like a hardo upset about it, but like his professionalism for that he wouldn't be the person to do it. But yeah,
Okay.
that's yeah, I don't know. That's so weird that became a thing. That's
He-
so weird.
In a
What
world
a
where you
sweetheart.
only see negativity, one nice story, just 20 seconds into someone's day, people are like, fuck her.
Yeah, how dare
I
she?
think
How dare she be
Schefter
positive and
didn't do-
sweet?
I don't think Schefter did her a favor, even though he was trying to be nice by saying like this was such a great interaction, which I agreed with. But maybe he should have added context, like she's like the local 40-year tenured local news lady. Like everyone gets that, but people just thought it was like a Jags fan, which obviously she was a Jags fan, but I mean like not who she was. With context, like I don't know how anyone could be mad. Even without context, like who gives a shit, but whatever.
Any parting words for the Carolina Panthers, who put up quite a fight?
It's a great season. It was great reps for Canales. Like,
they acquitted themselves
all I
well.
can call that game is like you got playoff reps. You battled your ass off. If they win the division, make the playoffs next year, it's not like the first playoff game for this group. And I imagine management will make them better.
Got down big early.
Into quarterback.
Could have just called it quits. Came back throwing punches. Could have very well won the game. Played very weird defensive. If they hadn't gone into prevent on the last drive, they're probably playing this weekend. The Rams did not play very good football.
No.
The Rams are going to have their hands full on when we get to the Sunday game in 3.5 hours. The Rams are going to have their hands full because
every team that played on the weekend, even the teams that won, everyone had like fatal execution moments.
I agree, but that's because all the teams in the league kind of suck this year. Like none of them are bad, but they all have real big problems. So, and they all were able to overcome some of their bigger problems this week,
which has created a fun season.
It has. No, it totally has, but it's going to be a
3-point spreads.
It's going to be a disaster because the Patriots are going to go to the Super Bowl and it's going to be awful. And
you say it with a smile, buddy.
It's a disaster. It's a disaster.
Eat your cheesy cheese melt through the tears.
It's a disaster.
How are you feeling about the Packers up like 21-3 at half?
I kind of thought that Ben Johnson was doing one of the worst coaching performances I'd ever seen. And I still think it was. But then Matt LaFleur was like, just you watch.
It's funny because Love played awesome in that game.
Yeah, this game wasn't on Love. This game was on the timeout made no sense. The delay of game after the timeout made no sense. The throwing the ball when you needed to wear a clock made no sense. The whole thing was just was baffling. But yeah, that of all the games this weekend, that's the one people will remember. And like that's the only one from this weekend, as good as it was, that would crack my top 10 list of last week.
And you do have a top 10 list. We're going to get to that in a second. The Jags, poor Emerson was at the game. They gave out new cups. That turned out to be the wrong move.
They were
the old cups.
You gotta get playoff collector cups.
Yeah, but the old cups, good luck. New cups, bad luck.
Frustrating. I mean, the Jags outplayed Buffalo up and down the field and lost the game.
They couldn't stop Josh Allen.
But like
when they needed to.
Trevi
turned into Trevi.
As a Bills fan, you watch that game and go, "Oh my goodness, we're not going to go very far."
No, this is how the Bills. This is their path to winning the Super Bowl. Winning this type of game every week.
Josh Allen, quite literally, and I mean this literally in a literal sense, cannot make 4 games playing like this. He will not
make one more. Can he win this one?
He might not get through, and I'm not joking. He might not get through this game if he plays like this. He's going to be independently told he can't play the rest of the game. He almost did on Sunday. He was tested for a concussion and was allowed back in.
Now, the key is to not get tested. My friend told me that about COVID. Never had it. Never been tested.
If the Bills' strategy is to rerun what we saw on Sunday, he is not going to be taking snaps at the end of games. That is a fact. You can take that to the bank. That's the case. They have now a week to figure out how to run something else other than what they ran, because Denver is going to skin them alive if they play like that.
Well, they lost Shavers and they lost Gabe
Davis.
Davis.
You like the Chargers backups versus Denver. Now all of a sudden you don't like the Bills?
I am concerned that the Bills have
that
only
whole
backups.
Spiel about the quarterbacks. Bo Nix is. Wasn't that you?
Yeah, I'm not sure that Bo Nix won't throw the game away, but like I don't know how Josh Allen makes it to the end of the Super Bowl through 4 straight games playing like this. Like I don't know how physically it's possible. I really don't think it is. They better come up. They better have a plan.
Denver and Houston back to back.
You're not going to make. You can't survive that. Not if they continue to play like this and just say, "Josh, keep running on every down."
But he can play the Patriots and survive that.
Yes, that's a game he could.
I don't know. The Patriots were hitting hard on Sunday night.
The Bills actually have an offensive line.
Just saying. If I'm a Bills fan, which I'm not, I would be very concerned.
Hold on. And I'm not saying the Patriots couldn't hit him hard, Tim. I'm just saying in terms of like that aspect, I'd feel better playing them than Houston. We saw the Bills play Houston. I've seen the Bills play the Patriots twice. They can move the ball.
Good luck.
Does Travis Hunter come back next year as a full-time receiver or defensive player?
I think mostly defensive player with
Gadget plays on offense?
With like, maybe 6 to 7 snaps on offense per game.
Yeah.
Some key third downs, something like that.
Yeah. Getting Jacoby Myers kind of boxed out what his role should be on
That's
this
fine.
team.
If he's an excellent cornerback and can play the odd time, maybe return a couple of punts, be a receiver on some important downs, that'd be fine.
It's pretty impressive.
One time I went to this prestigious golf event with a group of guys. One of them was drunk on the morning media shuttle, and started berating other people.
This was
the
not
other
me,
guy
by the way.
treated the food, the craft services like a Michelin star restaurant.
That was me.
Kenny Kim's taking like naps, using it like as a nap center.
According to you, this
No,
was
I'm
Jordan's
just saying,
day
like,
after.
and
You
I'm
claim
sure
that
there
was
was
Jordan the
stuff-
day after the flu game. Kenny at the President's Cup Media Center was Jordan after the flu game.
He was great. And I'm sure there were like so many.
And by the way, I
stuffy
listened to the show.
people.
Kenny agreed with me on the food at the President's Cup thing, by the way. So
No,
he said he'd have been delighted to eat every single meal there at the President's Cup.
when asked if he
So-
would have rated it Michelin star quality like you, he said absolutely not.
What he said was maybe not Michelin star, but
No,
would
he
have
said no.
But he would have
didn't
been.
say, no, there was no maybe about it. He said
but
no.
he would have been delighted to eat every single
No one-
meal there.
no one
and
said
from the
Kenny's gone to,
from the
like,
foodie on the
table
trip.
for- Kenny's gone to table for one at like 4 Michelin star restaurants where he spends like $4,000 on himself.
So the fact that he
knows
was
what Michelin
willing-
no, he's not. He knows that you're.
So the fact he was willing to eat every meal
That
at the
you're-
President's Cup media tent
different. What do you
suggests
mean?
that I'm over the target.
If I
Yep.
offered Kenny a steak sandwich from the keg, he'd have come and taken it and not said, you know what, Fienberg, I can't have you buy me something. There's all this free food and more comes out in an hour.
That's exactly what I said, word for word. I regret none of those words.
Yeah, I wasn't even asking you to pay for it.
I didn't want it. Why would you spend your money on food
He wanted to
when
treat
there's
you.
better food for
Well,
free inside?
Because you don't know if it's better or not.
Look,
See, this again, you have misconstrued the argument. No one said the food was bad. There's better food. There's better food on the grounds.
again, the
You
fact.
wouldn't know because you didn't try it.
Why would I try it? There's free, awesome gourmet
You were
food
getting
in
this
the
for
tent.
free too.
But Geoff was paying for
Who
it.
do you think paid for the media center shit? I did.
Not the same thing. Not the same thing going to a vendor
Anyway,
and taking
that was
20
all
out of
just-
your
I'm
pocket.
sure there were a lot of like stuffy golf people being like, "Who's this guy treating this?" Thinking he's in a Michelin star restaurant, or I'm just saying, yeah, that was just back to the. I was thinking about just.
Yeah, what did you
nice
bring? What did you bring
media
the trip up
experience.
for? You're the one who brought it up, and it wasn't clear to me
Tim,
what linkage
when I
you were
was a
making.
younger lad at like Maple Leafs training camp, the fear of God in me, like making sure I wasn't getting into like one of the preeminent media guys like spots in the scrum, as like my fat short arm dinosaur arm is trying to like hold the mic to get Randy Carlisle sound. Oh, kill me. The worst.
Worst decision. I mean, I know which one's the worst decision, but baffling decision. Shanahan not going for 2 and then missing the extra point anyway.
That was baffling.
Like, why not try to go up by 6?
I don't understand it.
Like Jake Elliott had already missed an extra point in the
Yeah,
game.
I don't get it.
What's the advantage of being up by 5?
Nothing.
So that made no sense. 2, I was with the timeout call with the Eagles, dropping them from 3 to 2 timeouts. I get that you want to get the first down. But you give yourself no recourse if you don't get it.
Their idea. So yes, and in the moment, I felt that way too. The more I thought about it, I was like, look, if we get the ball back, there's going to be like 20 some odd seconds. This is it. This is the whole game. Now maybe that's why they did it, because like it was only 43 seconds left, 44 seconds left. So if you get the ball back, there'll be like 20 some odd seconds if you use all your timeouts. So their thought was like, this is it. This is our moment. That's as if we have no timeouts left. Let's just go for it. I understand that. They wish they'd come up with a better play.
If you're going to take the timeout, run a real play.
Well, yeah, obviously.
What'd you guys think of the line judges this week?
Horrible.
Just
horrible.
The Jags-Bills game, they had no clue where to spot any ball.
No.
That went both ways.
The officiating
and
was
then
very
remember
poor.
in the Chargers game, the Chargers went for a 4th and 1 and they kept
Oh yeah,
one guy had it short, one guy had it long,
terrible.
and then they both like swapped to agree with the other guy. So then the other guy went long and the other guy went short. And they went to commercial without telling us what happened.
Yeah, they came back and didn't give us the announcement.
That's right. Yeah, I was running. Had my headphones in. I was watching it without sound. I was walking on the treadmill. I was like, what's going on here? I hate when that happens. When you're not watching
Tarico,
with sound.
pro's pro. Like, I'm so wasted. I knew, like, he's so good. He's so good at letting you know what's going on.
Tarico's
He's the
good.
best.
He's excellent.
the best.
Oh, Mike! Just hire Romo for that game.
I like Tarico. We get him at the Super Bowl. That'll be good.
He'll be doing double
Romo,
duty.
like, you think because he's excited, he's just making sounds.
Yeah, he's excited.
Ooh,
He's like,
ooh,
he's like,
ah.
he doesn't sound like a monkey. He's not
No.
doing
Yeah,
monkey
He's-
impressions.
Ooh,
He's
hey,
hyper.
ooh,
Yeah,
ooh.
he is. He's like, he has like severe ADHD and just like can't keep in like his emotions are running high. He gets excited. He's like a little kid.
I will say, because I watched
say
all
that's
the
like an
Amazon games.
I would say that's an ADHD Tourette's combo.
I
I
actually,
don't know if you know what Tourette's is.
Yeah, I was in class with a kid who had Tourette's. Grade 3. That was a fucking ride. He had his own like person. Like that was yeah. I know.
maybe we need to,
I know
maybe
it.
we need to
I
bleep
know
his
it.
name.
Yes, well, we'll bleep his name.
I don't think he needs to have.
sorry,
His,
I
I
didn't
don't think he needs to have his name mentioned.
Sorry, Jared. I didn't mean to give you more work.
This is
It's
not
me,
the first
it's my
one.
work. I'm doing it.
This is
Sorry,
not the first
Pat.
bleep of
I
the
thought
day.
you outsourced that by now.
No, never.
Okay, sorry, Pat. Sorry to your kids who you might miss. Like get to bed because you had to beat me. Like, sorry.
That's already out the window. I wasn't getting home for bedtime today already. Monday next week.
Got to get to snack.
We can actually run it on a Monday. I totally forgot. I don't like the Monday night playoff.
I don't
game.
like it
I
either.
really don't like it. I'd rather have a fucking Friday night game.
I
don't like
agree,
it.
Pat, and I would argue the biggest problem with it is the competitive disadvantage.
I agree.
No,
that it
I would
lays.
argue that I just don't like it happening on Monday. My playoffs are supposed to be on the weekend. That's how I likes it.
I agree. I don't like the Monday game either.
I don't even like that we've got, the Bills are playing on a short week off a team on a bye. Right? But apparently that's happened like 5 straight years. There's nothing you could do. That just happens. I don't like it.
Eat better. Train smarter. Maybe stop pretending frozen mystery meat is good enough. And honestly, starting strong is the easiest way when the food doesn't suck to get yourself ready to start the new year. That's where Omaha Steaks comes in. Premium, perfectly portioned protein shipped straight to my door. No guessing, no waste, just legit quality that actually fuels what you're trying to do. I loaded up on their USDA certified tender steaks and gourmet burgers, threw a couple fillets on the grill, which is out my back door, and there's not that much snow, so I can access it pretty easily. Salt, pepper, done, instantly tender. Way more flavor, better texture, zero stress compared to anything I've really cooked before. Let Omaha Steaks deliver high-quality proteins right to your door. Visit omahasteaks.com and get an extra $35 off with promo code MAYO at checkout. That's OMAHA steaks.com, promo code MAYO. Terms apply. See site for details. It's winter and it's cold, at least where I'm at, and I'm spending way more time indoors, aka I'm sleeping more. If you're like me, it's time to upgrade your sleep and switch to Helix. You'll never go back. I took the Helix sleep quiz. It matched me to the right mattress for how I actually sleep, not how some showroom goober thinks I sleep. And since it's been all restful nights, no tossing, no back pain, and my sleep tracking actually backs that up. My deep sleep numbers off the charts, good, way better than before. We've got more than just one Helix in our house now, too. Just threw one in the upcoming baby's room so I can get back to sleep quickly the moment that the baby goes down. Helix builds mattresses for different people, not a one-size-fits-all nonsense, because that wouldn't make any sense. There's free shipping in the United States and a 120-night sleep trial with a limited lifetime warranty. Go to helixsleep.com/mayo for 27% off, site-wide exclusive for listeners of the Pat Mayo Experience. That's helixsleep.com/mayo. Do it now! Well, we're going to get to these games. We've talked about most of these teams already, but the hottest new segment on the PME is coming up right now. It's time for Judge Cust.
Court is in session.
Have the Law and Order sound.
Wish I had a gavel.
No, he has his no intro.
Wish I had a gavel.
Well, sir.
Oh, do I have a gavel?
Do we have something for you?
Yes. Oh.
There's your judge wig.
Okay.
Oh. You have a black robe too?
Have a black robe, Geoff. Of course we do.
Based on how long it takes Tim to like get mic'd up, this might take a few minutes.
Jared, you might have to come help Tim.
Come on, this is like Beyonce, a set change, costume change.
Oh, yeah. There's little pins in it. There you go.
Just put it on top.
It doesn't matter if it rips. It's fine. I get you. There you go.
Lord Cust.
Listen, we didn't all play Lumiere.
You can just break that
Cogsworth,
over
get
yourself.
it right.
Cogsworth, sorry.
Cogsworth.
Look at you. You're a real barrister now. Judge Cust.
Oh, and a gavel.
Does it? Now,
Order in the court.
what if I was to tell you you can have something to bang it on? And that something would be an Aaron Rodgers Jets hypothetical championship banner.
Gimme it.
Oh, that's so great.
Court is now in session.
Court is in session. Oh, yay, oh, yay. All ye who seek justice, come before my court.
If you would like to have Judge Cust weigh in on something, you can send your emails to mayomediainc@gmail.com. We got a ton of them.
Okay, well, you don't have time for a ton of them.
No, we don't. We have time for two, I think, but depending on how your verdicts go here. And I thought this one was perfectly tailored to you. Ready? This one's from Derek. Honorable Judge Cust.
Good start.
It's a Friday during Lent. I vow no meat. I go to McDonald's drive-thru intending to order a fillet of fish. I clearly order fish. I pay. I leave. 5 minutes later, I open the bag, and it's a double cheeseburger, extra meat. No fish. I'm pissed. At this point, I'm hungry, already gone, and don't want to waste food. So I eat the burger. Did I break my Lenten vow, or does intent matter?
Intent is the thing that matters. If you're in the restaurant and you've been and you're given the double cheeseburger, then I think you have an obligation. Just laughing. Then I think you have an obligation to go up to the counter and say, "I'm sorry, this is not what I ordered." If you ordered your fillet of fish, you've taken it home, or you're in the parking lot and you're eating, and you realize that nope, they gave me a double cheeseburger and not a fillet of fish. You have done your level best to keep up your pledge, to keep up a Lenten fast and not having meat on a Friday. You were served it. It would be a greater sin to waste that food for no reason. Your intention was pure. Enjoy that burger. You have done nothing wrong.
I love this guy. I love Judge Cust.
Do you agree, Tim? Or do you agree, Geoff?
It's hard for me to have an opinion on that. I would say you did break it, though. And I
Yeah.
think Tim is just giving himself a permission structure.
No.
It does. Isn't Lent about
Emergency that happens
sacrifice?
to him.
But you have done your due diligence.
I mean, you could have stopped somewhere else and gotten something else to eat.
You asked for a fillet of fish. You went to get a fillet of fish. You ordered it. But you got something else in the bag.
Do you think that's a true story?
I don't know, but it would be. I think it would be even more wasteful and even less in the spirit of repentance and renewal to just throw that burger, which is food, into the trash for no other reason. Now, I think at that point you're going above and beyond what's necessary. I think you've acted with good intention, and it's what's in your heart that matters. And so I think you've done the right thing. So it's okay to eat that burger.
Well, this
Love this
JC sounded like the other JC. It's in your heart matters the most.
It is. It is what what you actually willed that does matter.
Next one comes in from Steve. I'm 30.
Hey, Steve.
I don't get it.
1% of the audience will get that reference, but those who do will love it. Oh, next case.
Hey, Steve. I'm 38 years old.
I like how you worked Hey Steve into that.
I'm 38 years old. but the high school district in my region was hosting a semifinal playoff game for football. I cannot name one player on the team, nor can I name a faculty member at the school. In fact, I do not know a single student that goes to the school. Everybody I asked to go with me to watch the game, again, this was one game away from the state championship, told me that I was weird for wanting to go to the high school football game. Even if it was a regular season game, is it wrong for wanting to support the local team when I have no relation to anyone involved in that game?
No problem at all. You went to that school. That's fine.
He didn't go to the school.
He didn't go to the school?
No, he lives somewhere.
You know what? You're supporting the local team. There's absolutely nothing wrong with supporting the local team. It's a big deal in the U.S. to make the state championships
Not
in
everywhere.
football. In the United States,
It's going to be in Maine.
I still think trying to make the state championship in football is a pretty big deal. If you wanted to go because you like football, high school football in the U.S. can be incredibly competitive and good football. You don't need to know anybody. Go there and cheer for your local team. That's perfectly fine. I think
stadiums are nicer than our CFL.
Well, that's it.
stadiums.
Yeah.
That's not true everywhere, by the way.
But it is in some places,
fine,
like
but
in
there are a lot of
Texas.
places where it's true. I don't think this is weird at all.
None.
And maybe this is on me. If I lived in the States, I would be going to random Friday night games a lot, I think. I love ball. I love airborne pigskin. There's nothing weird. There's nothing weird about it. They play at such a competitive high level, like relative to their age and like the infrastructure around it and how it's facilitated. Like I would absolutely support that. Maybe even, buy put a little cash in the jar to support the athletic department of the school while I'm there. Even if
Also
I didn't
fine, but
go
not
there.
necessary.
There's nothing weird about this.
You don't have to do that, but you can if you want. I judge this to be perfectly reasonable.
All right, we should get one more then. Let's see. Oh, see, this one is tailored perfectly for you. This one's from Dill. Judge Cust. While shopping at a Costco, they had a specific chocolate on clearance. There were only 10 bags left, with each bag containing 50 individually wrapped pieces. A coworker of mine loves them, so I was going to purchase 5 bags knowing he would pay me back. I saw a lady looking intently at the bags as I put the chocolate into my cart. She asked me if they were good. I won't waste people's money, so thinking on my feet, I told her, I'm going to buy these 5 bags no matter what. I will open a bag and let you try a piece. If you don't like it, fine, my gift to you. But if you're going to buy one, take the bag that I opened. She agreed and exclaimed how delicious they were. I say, glad I could help. But then she grabs a fresh bag. And I say, you're going to buy 2? She tells me, no, just the one. So I say, well, take the open one. She says, well, I don't want that. I want the sealed one. 2 verdicts need to come down on this. Am I crazy for then starting an argument with a complete stranger over this? And 2, is there any way this woman is in the right?
So let's take the second part first. There's no way in which this woman is in the right. She agreed with you. She covenanted with you that she would either eat the piece, not like it, and walk away, or if she did like it, she would take the bag that you opened only because she could have a piece.
Question.
No.
You would be this lady.
Absolutely
Yes,
not.
No.
No. I would take the bag from him.
No, you wouldn't.
Or
I'd be like, ooh, it's open.
No, because it was
This
open
guy-
for me. No. If you say the only reason I'm opening this bag is so that you can try one, what I'm up to is far worse than this. I would say no, thank you, and I'd walk away, like do a lap of the Costco, and then come back later and grab a bag. That's far more my style than
But
just
what-
brazenly. No.
But why wouldn't you just take a bag to begin with?
You
She
sh-
wanted to try one.
She should have taken the bag that she covenanted to take if she liked the piece.
I
Now,
cannot believe. Shame on this guy.
But the second,
Glad handing this woman's like sample culture that he opened. What an epic
but
miscalculation.
they have both agreed that the only reason he's opening is
Doesn't
for
know
her. So
anything. This is an old lady. You don't know what she's actually heard, what
But
she comprehends, what she
does
knows.
should he be causing an argument in the store about it?
Yes.
There's no need for that.
Yeah,
There's 5
no,
other.
no,
There's
that's
5
not-
Should he have hid in one of the aisles until she left?
No, he should have just realized. You know what? This woman doesn't keep her word.
No, this
So you know
woman-
what? She's living a rougher life than me. If she can't keep her word, if she wishes to act in this kind of dishonest way, leave her to heaven.
I'm an asshole, Pat.
Don't start
There's
that fight.
Not in a million years. While I am still like in the store, I haven't even paid for my goods yet. Am I opening a packaged product to give a stranger a sample?
You know what? You would be fired for not having good guy culture.
There's
That's
nothing.
what I'm talking about.
Again, because they agreed, the only reason it was being open so that she could have she
His
could try.
offer, the fact that he made the offer, he deserves everything that came after.
I
it.
would not have made that offer.
Of course not.
I think that's weird because it's not my property yet. I haven't purchased it.
No, he's gonna buy it though.
But I haven't bought it yet, and therefore it's not really mine.
Is that like you wouldn't eat a grape?
No, I wouldn't. I have a strong feeling about that. I know you feel different. Jeff steals grocery store.
I go
bags.
and just take a handful of grapes and walk around the
Yeah,
store.
I don't. I know you.
No,
do.
I don't.
I
won't
that
do
stuff.
that. But I've definitely opened something for the kid.
You steal bags,
you
Jeff.
just-
like you don't. We don't have to relitigate that. We know what you're up
which
to.
the bags, I'll own it.
Yeah, I know. I know you do. We don't have to relitigate it. My point is,
Free bags at the grocery store. Tim approves.
the lady is in the wrong. But he's also, you made a mountain out of a molehill. Just move about your day. I personally would not have wanted a pre-opened bag, but I also wouldn't have agreed to having him open the sample
I'm
either for
sorry,
me.
the guy sending the letter, he takes 2 L's. Okay.
No, he doesn't take too well. She's in the wrong.
Because he shouldn't have opened the bag. That's an insane thing to do, in my opinion. And it's crazier to argue with her. So he made 2 big mistakes.
Well, I think he's right about one. He's wrong about the other. That's my ruling. It's very Solomonic.
You look great in that get up.
I would have been a marvelous barrister or solicitor. I would have been a marvelous magistrate, I think.
Still time.
I think I'm very even-handed, equitable. I can read the facts of the case, think about it, and come back with a deliberation.
I don't even think that you need to go to law school, then practice law, then become a judge. I think you can just send them the sizzle reel of you dressed like that and making judgments, and everything will be fine.
And I love powdered wigs. I think they look so cool. I don't care when anybody says the powdered wigs, I think look really nice.
Cool.
I think they look cool. I wish we lived in an era where powdered wigs and those neck bands and these clothes were
You want to wear
court dress.
knee-high knickers with a powdered wig.
I think that it's a nice style choice.
So you can see yourself in the camera right now.
I
You
think-
think that looks cool.
I think that looks very sharp.
I think it's one of your better looks.
I mean, that's literally why people have what they call powder rooms in their house. The powder rooms were designed for gentlemen to go powder their wigs.
Yeah,
That was for
100
doing
years ago.
cocaine.
That's
Is it
why.
not?
That's why you hear powder rooms, it's so that you can powder your wig.
I think that most
I feel
places
like
in Miami
women
have
put
2 different
makeup on or
definitions.
something.
Now it is, but traditionally a powder room was set aside as a place for you to go powder your wig. I think it's cool. I think it's charming.
Cool.
Yes, cool. We're different. I think trains are cool. You don't. I think wigs are cool. You don't.
I don't have
I think-
anything against trains.
We talked about them 2 months ago, and you poo-pooed my idea of taking a train trip across the country where you could see all these beautiful sights, and you could go from car to car, and it would
Didn't
be
you
really
call
neat.
that a bachelor party?
Yeah. You said it was a bachelor party.
Hold on. I would go on a nice, maybe high-end cross-country Canada train. I bet you they do it lovely. I'm not doing that as a bachelor party.
Okay. Well, you and I have different ideas of what would be fun then, I guess.
Let's recap last week.
All right.
Well,
Alrighty.
we recapped last week. Our picks last week. You and I were both 2-4. Jeff was 3-3, and the coin was 3-3. Not a great week for us.
No, not the best.
We all-
But I didn't have a super lock, but if I did, that won.
What?
The Bears.
Oh, the Bears, yes. Skin of your teeth. You got it done.
I agree, but that's true of pretty much every game.
Hey, don't you get to dog walk us? 'Cause
No,
we both
no.
had the Packers and
No.
we were crazy there.
No, I don't. I was right. You were wrong, but I didn't want to bring attention to it.
You know, Pat, what I noticed from last week is that the games that had, and there wasn't a ton, well, in 1 or 2 of the games there might have been some, but the games that had significant line movement, the winner was the opposite end of the movement, right? The Bills ended up as 1.5 dogs. A lot of Steelers steam.
Eagles money came in.
The Eagles had probably the most steam. So a lot of games that steamed, just the results were up-o.
And the big swing in the 49ers and Eagles game was I thought Trent Williams was going to be out and Lane Johnson was going to
And
be
the exact
in, and the exact opposite
Yeah.
happened.
If we had a super luck last week, unlike Tim, I would have lost mine because I believe I in terms of how I did betting wise, my biggest loss was the Eagles.
I like the Eagles a lot.
My
too.
biggest loss was the Eagles as
I
well.
like them too.
And I did lose a lot on the Chargers money line because, as you know, people know, I like to go on trips, and I figure like we start off with a big money line bet, and then we just roll it over.
Plus, you had some season-long bets, and I'm sure took their L when that happened too.
Yeah, no, those are already paid for. So, but no, futures portfolio for me, in terms of like long-standing futures, obviously I have a Chargers to win the Super Bowl because I have to pay for things if that were to happen. But Seattle 12-1 and my Houston to win the AFC futures, which would be freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Well, are any of those two teams on your best divisional game ranking list?
Well, I'll tell you what I've got. So, like last week, I plumbed the history of the last 25 years of the best divisional games, and I've got a top 10 list. So, I guess first I'll start with all of the divisional games that the Dolphins have won over the last 20 years. Okay, that's it. So now we'll move into
better last week. It was better joke last week.
It happens to be just as true last week as this week.
It was-
Okay, so number 10 is the 4th and 26. Fred X, the people's champ, makes the big catch, and the Eagles beat the Packers in a fantastic game, the game that followed the one that won last week as the best wildcard round game. That was 04. In the same year is number 9. It is the Colts defeating the Chiefs 38-31 in an absolute shootout at Arrowhead. And Peyton Manning won that big game. It took him to the AFC Championship game where the Patriots beat the Colts so badly that the rules in football changed after that season because they made illegal contact a real focus of play for the rest of football.
Are there any from the past 5 years?
Yes.
You have Rams Eagles from last year.
No, I don't. I have Rams over Bucks from 2022. That's the game where it ends with Stafford making that fantastic deep throw to Kupp after Brady makes the furious comeback. They're down by a ton of points at home. The Buccaneers come all the way back. They take the lead. And then the Rams, who go on to win the Super Bowl, have that huge throw to Kupp. They win that game. The next one, number 8, is the 49ers over the Saints in 2011. That game was 38-34, something like that.
Kaepernick?
No, it's
Is
not.
that Alex
It's
Smith?
Alex Smith.
On the QB.
Yes,
Oh, yeah. Vernon Davis. Yeah.
It's a fantastic game. Vernon Davis makes the game-winning catch at the front of the end zone. The Saints were pretty highly touted that year. The Niners had a bye because two teams made a bye in each conference. The Niners were underdogs at home, and they won that game. Next game, in 2015, the Patriots beat the Ravens 35-31 in a game that Baltimore had not once but twice a 14-point lead, and they give it up. The most iconic play is Edelman throwing the touchdown pass on the reverse.
That's not the Lee Evans game, is it?
No,
That was the
that's an
championship
AFC
game.
championship.
That'd have been before 2015.
Yeah. The next one, 2002, Tuck Rule game in the blizzarding snow.
I thought this was going to be number 1.
The last game ever played at Foxborough Stadium. The game itself isn't that memorable other than the fact that it was a blizzard, but it ends, of course, quite famously with the Tuck Rule and the Patriots, then leading to an overtime where Vinatieri makes the first big kick of his football career. Okay, now we get into the top 5. It's Cards over Packers, the game that you keep thinking was a wild card game, but is actually a divisional
That
round
should be
game.
number 1.
Where the Packers complete not one, but
could be
2
one.
Hail
Yeah.
Marys to Jeff Janis, and then Larry Fitzgerald, who, though he didn't win a Super Bowl, he is probably the best playoff player in NFL history who never won a Super Bowl. His playoff numbers are unreal, how good Larry Fitzgerald was in the playoffs. He wins that game with Carson Palmer throwing a dump pass across his body, and he takes it like 70 yards to the 2-yard line, and he scores a touchdown 2 plays later. And that takes the Cards to the championship game where the Panthers beat him by 600,000 points.
I'm trying to think of the playoff run that Larry Fitzgerald had when they went to the Super Bowl.
Oh, it was unbelievable.
Is there a better 4-game stretch in the playoffs ever?
Off the top of my head, I can't think of one.
I guess Flacco, the year they went to the Super Bowl, because he was just incredible.
And we will get to that. One of his games is on this
Is that
list.
the Jacoby Jones game?
We'll get to that game, but that's on this list. Next one is a game that I took a lot of heat for because I had actually predicted the score exactly right for the Saints to win 24-23. It just happened that Diggs caught that pass on the sidelines, goes to the house on one of the most inexplicable plays ever, why the defensive back takes that line with no one behind him when the game is over. The only way you can lose the ball game is to like have him beat you, but yet he let Diggs beat him. Diggs, sideline, touchdown, maybe Joe Buck's greatest NFL call of all time.
And no, his greatest one is when he was disgusted by Randy Moss pretending to moon the back.
That's a different type of memorable call.
I can't remember. That game is either the game that my friend Joe Holka lives in Minnesota went to that game. He either proposed to his girlfriend at the game and then watched it, or he won like $500,000 on DraftKings that week. Can't remember which one it was.
What an amazing game that was. Okay, top 3 games. Number 3. Jerome Bettis and the Steelers beat the Colts in a fantastic divisional round game. Bettis in his last year fumbles the ball on the goal line. The Colts pick it up. They are going to the end zone. They're going to win the game. Ben Roethlisberger makes the most consequential tackle of a quarterback in football history. Tackles him. He doesn't get the touchdown. Vanderjagt, who is at that point the most accurate and probably best kicker in NFL history, has a relatively short kick to make for a heavy favored Colts team at home. He misses it. I think it's one of Dick Enberg's last NFL games that he calls, and the Colts lose the game, and Bettis goes on to win the Super Bowl.
Now, that's pre everyone just calling him a Canadian drunk, right? Vanderjagt?
Yeah, it might even be that year in the Pro Bowl. That might be that year's Pro Bowl where that fight happened. Yeah. So that's number 3. Number 2 is from 2022. It's Chiefs-Bills. It's 13 seconds. It's a fantastic, highly scored football game. It's back and forth. It's everything you'd ever want in a game. But in the end, the Bills left 13 seconds on the clock. It goes to overtime. And that's a game that changes the rules in overtime for ensuring that both teams get to touch the ball, because Buffalo never touched the ball again. And the best game of all time is Joe Flacco and the Ravens beating the Broncos and Peyton Manning. Manning had statistically one of his best seasons, and they allow a deep pass to get behind them, and Jacoby Jones makes the catch, and they lose that game in overtime. The Broncos do, and the Ravens win, I believe, in double overtime as the Ravens win. So that's my list of the best divisional games of all time, of the last 20 years or so.
2 of those teams are first up in the divisional round. The Bills are at the Broncos. Maybe we'll get the all-time greatest game. Bills are favored in Mile High now.
Rematch from last year.
-1 is the spread. 46.5 is the total. All the lines are coming from coolbet.com. If you are in Canada, outside of Ontario, play on coolbet.com. Join my one and done as well, fantasygolfchampionships.com. It starts on Thursday. You'll want to get in because then you can't get in for another year.
What's the spread you have in the game?
It's supposed to be +1.
So Buffalo is a 1-point favorite right now. Is that right? Because I've seen that spread bounce from Bills by 1.5 to Broncos by 1.5. So it's sitting now at Bills -1. Okay.
I think if you look at a bunch of different places, it's going to give you a bunch of different. It's basically a pick 'em everywhere.
Okay.
I love the Bills.
So, like, the Broncos are the better team.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
But the Broncos have so many flaws. These 2 teams played in last year's playoffs. So people remember, and of course, the Bills blew them out. But that game was in Buffalo. The reason to pick the Broncos is that you think that Mitchell Trubisky is going to have some consequential snaps in the game.
It's tough.
I'm not convinced that he won't.
It's tough to go into a game betting that.
It is. The thing is, I have yet to hear anybody pick against Buffalo in this game.
Okay.
The whole world seems to be on Buffalo. I'm going to pick the Broncos. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I wouldn't be super hard on it. I think the Broncos are the sharp side. I like them at altitude, getting that bye. The Bills are on a short week. The Bills, again, have one play, and now that one play is excellent. It really is. Josh Allen was a one-man band against the Jags, but like it also helped that the Jags quarterback threw a picks. He tried to throw even more picks. Like Lawrence had a terrible game. I think the Broncos are going to have a pretty decent game plan for the Bills. But the Broncos this year have, and I made this point 2 weeks ago, like the Broncos have struggled against bad teams. But they've also beaten good teams this year too. I mean, they were the 1 seed for a reason. They beat the Chiefs in a fantastic game. They beat the Eagles in a fantastic game. It's not like the Broncos are nobodies, but they're a very flawed team. I'm not super enthused about either team. I'll pick Denver. I don't love it. I could easily see Buffalo winning. I'm not super confident here.
Jeff, I get that football is a team game, but if I'm going to put my money on one of these teams, give me Josh Allen over Bo Nix.
Yeah, I'm taking Buffalo. I mean, I kind of didn't. It was Tim's rant before week 18. And then watching the Chargers backups in a game the Broncos like had to win to get the 1 seed, which is crucial in a slop fest of an AFC. They looked horrible. And I agree with Tim. I think like Peyton's gonna have a few things dialed up that'll get the Bills' head spinning. But I'm hoping the counter to that is Josh Allen will just answer with a touchdown, because that's what he's going to do. The Broncos, I would say, if I rank the 8 teams left, they might be like 7.
They could be 1, though, is the weird thing.
It can't be
No,
one.
there's zero chance they're 1.
Like Seattle is clearly better.
Seattle or the Rams, I would take ahead of
Rams starting to take on some water. I'm not as convinced about the Rams, but Seattle certainly is better than Denver in any.
I know
estimation.
I would rank the Bills ahead of them, so I'm picking the Bills.
That's fair. I get it. I'm not super enthused on this, and I think the Bills may very well win, but something inside me says, you know what? The world is on Buffalo, and Denver had the pie, and Peyton has had a week to think this through, and I don't know that Josh Allen's going to play the whole game.
Our sponsor, Cool Bet, lines powered by, AI powered by. How do I put this? I don't think you can bet the Bills there.
At -1?
I mean, yes, it's all the same, but I just mean like it's a Canadian-centric book, so it's Bills Mafia probably headed heavy because at least around me, 1 out of every like 3.5 NFL fans pick the Bills.
Yeah, but Cool Bet, not accessible where you live.
Sure, but I think like Bills Mafia, Bills are always the lead on our sports networks in terms of NFL stuff. There's very few -1s out there.
Well, I mean, it shifts. Like, for example, Caesars has the Bills at -1.5. FanDuel has them at -1.5. DraftKings has them at +1.5. Like, it's just teetering in the middle. Like, this is just in the middle. Like, Pinnacle has the Broncos at -1. If you want to talk about the sharpest book, that's where the sharpest.
My advice would be, it's mile high, it's cold, it's windy. The kicks can get missed. Don't even play the spread game this week.
I see. I just
take the money line.
Okay.
Take the money line. That 1.5.
It's 1 point. I don't think you're taking
the money line. Just telling you, just take the money line.
Point. I'll eat the point.
I don't think you need to get into that.
It's 1 point. I don't even understand. I can't lose. I could only tie. If they actually won. What are you saying I'll get screwed on?
Well,
I agree. Kickers are going to be weird, and a lot of kickers screwed up last week. I'm sure another kicker or 2 might screw up this week, but
so if it's just +1, then just take the money line.
Well, it depends on what the odds are on.
Just don't get involved in the point spread is what I'm saying. You don't need to.
I would rather bet -110 -1 than -120 money line.
Okay, then do not whine when it's 27-26 Buffalo and it's a push. I don't want to hear any complaints. You were fair warned, so I don't want to hear a single word of complaint.
And since we've started talking, it's flipped back to Broncos -1.
There you go. Like, I just don't want to hear a complaint. That's not a bad beat. Because it's just you knew better and you did it anyway. So anyway, that's my advice.
You're saving 10 cents. You're making a logical bet
with that.
Okay, just saying fair warned is fair armed.
Very few games
2 of the people on this show actually make bets.
Yeah, you're getting that taken away from me.
No, you're not. Not taking it from me.
So
he's gonna like bring that in his car and like be like screaming at drivers.
I sentence you to pull over.
You'd be arrested for impersonating a cop.
Cops don't carry around gavels.
Maybe they will now. It's their new weapon. No more guns, just gavels. You give people a bunk.
I didn't think this was.
He gets to park wherever he wants. He's a coroner. He's got coroner in his windshield.
The coroner. So sick of that guy.
I'm surprised that Josh Allen has gotten the worst draw 2 weeks in a row, TV wise. I can't say I expected that 2 weeks in a row, but he did.
And CBS made them their game 2 weeks in a row too.
Well, that I get, but like I figured since CBS had that garbage 1 o'clock Eastern game, they would have gotten the late game on Sunday. But
I don't think there's
Rams
really
Bears
much
doesn't
of a
need to
choice in this matter, Tim. Like once Houston's playing on Monday, they're not playing on.
Yeah, they had to be Sunday.
Yeah, but why is Rams Bears on Sunday? That does not need to be on Sunday.
No, it doesn't.
That game could have easily been Saturday.
Especially because they both played on Saturday.
Yeah, they could have played both AFC games Sunday and both NFC games on Saturday. I think that would have been fairer. And then both teams go into the championship game with equal rest too.
There's a chance Denver's a sleeping giant.
No, they're a
Week
giant.
off.
But like they,
Like,
Yeah,
if-
for sure.
like,
Sean
if-
Payton's going to have like a lot of shit drawn up, ready to go. Like when
They're not
they're in a big
dissimilar.
3rd and 3, there's going to be the easiest pitch and catch.
they're not dissimilar from the Broncos team that won the Super Bowl 10 years ago. They were a 1 seed. No one was super enthused about them. They managed to squeeze through the divisional round.
At least
They managed
you
to
trust that quarterback.
But that quarterback could barely throw the ball.
Yeah, but
They managed to get by the
they're
Patriots in a
cerebral.
championship game no one believed
But
in.
this defense is so much different than that defense. That defense was Von Miller led.
Yes.
Pressure on the quarterback. Like the Broncos
Is this
get
defense
pressure. but
overrated?
I-
Because I overrated as dominant, but it seems like it
Thanks.
might not be on stuff I've like looking at stuff and not using my perception this week.
I feel like
It's
the
not as
Broncos,
good as I thought.
the Broncos defense is dominant in ways that defenses aren't typically dominant anymore. Like it's not like they're sending blitzes from everywhere and pressuring you into making bad
they're
throws.
very
Their
good
secondary is
coverage.
so good.
That's it.
Their linebackers are so good. They just drop everyone into coverage. You can't complete passes against them. But we saw Jacksonville do that against
And
them.
I think
Jacksonville found the soft spots and showed you the game plan of how to beat the Broncos. I don't know if the Bills, with like as sad as it sounds, like losing Shavers and Gabe Davis for the year in that game. Like who do they have left? Like Brendan Cooks is playing a lot of minutes.
And they
here.
have the corpse of Brandon Cooks out there.
it's pretty shit. They'll need Josh Palmer to be healthy.
They'll
They're in
need
a tough
Kincaid to have
place.
a big game, Knox to have a big, and James Cook is going to have an excellent game.
And on Denver's side, we didn't talk about it when we were mentioning names earlier, but I think Vance Joseph is probably in the Kubiak Minter tier of like north of 75% maybe to get a new
I
job.
don't know about that.
We'll see. If I'm Sean Payton, I have one play in this game because I watched the Jags turn it over to King Tootin. We're like, we're just running off tackle for 15 yards a carry. And you know what we're going to do? Not do that again the rest of the game.
I would run the ball a lot.
Just run it with RJ Harvey and you'll be fine.
High
Just
percentage
run
pass play set up for Knicks, and yeah, expect
They
that.
could burn a lot of clock. The Bills will give up 4 yards of play on the ground. Like they could do first down, second down, third down, that whole quest, restart it, kill 2 minutes at a time.
And which is huge.
Keep Josh Allen on the sideline. There's an easy, no one is, I'm taking the Bills. I lean the Bills. I don't, I guess, love the Bills like Tim is saying the world does. But of course, like I see the path in the Sean Payton chalkboard to field execution wizardry that can win them this game.
Yeah, is the Bills' advantage at quarterback greater than the Broncos' advantage at coach?
Probably.
Not. I say probably not.
I think it probably is, but just the
Where do you
Broncos-
rank McDermott in terms of league-wide coaches, Pat?
Not high.
25th?
Yeah, not high. Of the 8 coaches left,
Yeah, 8 are fired already.
There's
Yeah,
no
of the-
Nick and quarterbacks. Like
I think I'd
19?
have him last.
Yeah,
of the
but
8
Bo
coaches
Nick, I mean,
left.
is Bo Nick? This is going to sound just based off the year that
Is
he
there
had.
not like a terrorist attack this weekend McDermott can invoke on,
Yeah,
on the squad?
Pizzola was all over that joke for like the past 2 weeks with McDermott.
Tim, what, you're offended by that?
No, but that was years ago.
It's still ridiculous.
It's still funny. It's still funny.
So Bills for Jeff and I, Broncos for Jeff. Niners at Seattle. Do you know what Kyle Shanahan's record is in both divisional and wildcard rounds?
Well, I would say it's undefeated because I think he goes to the championship game every time he's in the playoffs.
7-0. I like the Niners here. The triage unit Niners.
I don't. I honestly, the Niners, the last 2 weeks, the Niners, once in defeat and once in victory, have played so well defensively. And you talk about guys who should get jobs. I mean, Robert Saleh has done the best job
I
coaching.
feel like he's a combo deal with someone. Like he needs an OC with him.
I would agree.
Maybe him and his boy, Mike McDaniel, can go.
Saleh has done a great job at this team. I just feel
Hey,
like
there's the Ravens move. Hire Salah and McDaniel. And
Wouldn't
you
be
have
terrible.
Lamar with Mike McDaniel.
that wouldn't be terrible. But my concern with San Francisco is just these injuries catch up with you sooner or later. And when they do, they really do. And I'm concerned that Seattle is just going to posterize them.
I don't
I
love
like
this
the
matchup.
I like the Seahawks to cover and win.
I see. I like...
We saw this game 2 weeks ago.
We
and
did,
the
but
Seahawks
what
had,
I saw from that game was an inept offense from the 49ers, which I couldn't quite grasp. It seems like Trent Williams is
Seattle's
healthy.
defense is awesome.
I get that they're awesome, but come on now. Like, are they going to
and they hit and they play for keeps and they're violent and they're at home.
But the way that this Niners D has played 2 weeks in a row, I mean, would you be stunned if Darnold started playing like Trevor Lawrence did last week?
no, but I think Seattle's not going to put him in that position. We saw that 2 weeks ago. They're not going to put him in that position.
In a game where if the line was 7.5, like it is right now, is very coverable for the 49ers.
I agree, but I will take Seattle because I think they're just going to eat them up. And it's because the Niners are just too injured. You lose Kittle as well after you have lost so many other people. Is Pearsall going to play this week? That's a coin flip at best.
See what a coin flip says.
Niners. Like, the Niners are just so injured. Sooner or later, you just run out of steam. You just run out of guys. It happens every year.
This is a clash between your updated Super Bowl pick and the team you called dead a week ago.
I still think I was most impressed by San Francisco of any team last week. That win was excellent. They had a fantastic game plan. It helps that I think they wanted to win the game the second most in that game. I think the Eagles fans wanted the Niners to win most in that game, then the 49ers. Like, it helps when the other team's fans are actively cheering for you. Great performance. I don't see how they get past a rested, violent Seattle team who's just, I think, better at everything.
Like they just played a rested, violent defense in the Eagles. The Eagles defense is good.
But the Eagles have problems.
Yes, they do.
So many problems. They're not playing anymore. Like,
sure,
they have
but their
real
defense
problems.
is hard hitting, well coached, and very good.
I just don't think that they're. I just don't think when push comes to shove, San Francisco has enough answers for what Seattle can do offensively. And
look, if the Niners don't allow Kenneth Walker to convert that 3rd and 21 2 weeks ago, it's an entirely different game.
Sure.
Prevent a stupid big play from happening like that. Like big
that
plays
game was in San Francisco. Now they're in Seattle.
Big plays are going
there
to.
Are a few stupid. You could flip the stupid plays in that game that kept San Francisco in it.
Yeah, that's true
Sure,
too.
but that's the one that is like. It's almost like the DK Metcalf drop.
I'm more
in the
concerned.
first quarter on Monday night. As soon as he
who
drops, it's like, oh no, they needed that.
Someone who's
they
picked
can't have that.
Seattle. I'm far more concerned that Seattle's going to like mow San Francisco down, and next week they're going to be like really big favorites against the Bears or sizable ones against the Rams, and they get knocked out then. When everybody finally says, "Oh, we just watched Seattle destroy San Francisco," Seattle has all the world's goodwill, and then they collapse in the championship. I'm far more worried about that than this week. I think they take care of business this week. If Sam's disaster comes, and it may come, I don't think it'll come yet. Maybe next week. Or God forbid, 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now.
Geoff, your take on the game.
Well, there's only 4 games this week, so don't love anything. And Tim is probably doing the right thing here by taking both home teams on Saturday, off buys, playing teams on short rest. I don't think it's possible for you to go, oh, well, no, I don't mean it like that, but I'd be shocked if that draw went 0-2 on Sunday. So you can watch football for 8 hours and lose 10 cents juice. I'm taking Seattle. I think the Seahawks are going to the goddamn Super Bowl. So I could obviously San Francisco has ways to keep it close. I would argue for Seattle. I mean, it's not a great draw, but it's a much better draw than the Rams had the Eagles won the game. So as like a Seattle backer, I guess I was relieved a bit when San Francisco won the game. I just think that place, this team, the injuries continue to add up. I love this operation so much. And if I'm just a dead fish, then Sam Darnold to the goddamn Super Bowl.
And the Niners, needed a trick play last week to get themselves going.
This is not the first time they've ran a trick play with
Seattle's
Juwan
going to be ready for that kind of stuff.
I'm worried the familiarity doesn't help Seattle because the familiarity just helps Kyle Shanahan. All the reps against this team, like he might have a few things.
The familiarity, I think, helps Bob Saleh.
Yeah,
Not necessarily Shanahan.
Yeah, sure.
What Salah's doing is really extraordinary.
Bob Saleh also, I think, on that tier 1, maybe chances of over. I might have him north of 50% of getting a new job.
It went really poorly for him, and especially his exit.
It went.
Yeah, but New York is like such an embarrassment that
it's true.
There might be a couple organizations that, like, in the way.
Imagine if you sent him to the Browns. Give him that defense and send him to the Browns.
Well, I don't think that they need a defensive coach.
You give him that defense, though. All you need to do is hire a smart guy as an offensive coordinator.
Brian Daboll. That sounds like a great.
Yeah. Or you mentioned McDonald. Send
McDaniel.
Send McDaniel with him to the Browns.
They coach together in San Francisco.
Yeah, you send him to the Browns. That's the type of coach and team that things could work for.
Schefter reporting Marcus Freeman staying at Notre Dame.
Interesting.
And Mike Tomlin not expected to coach next year.
Yeah, that I felt pretty confident.
So San Francisco for myself and the coin, Seattle for the two of you.
Yeah.
What's going to be your take on Sam Darnold when he throws 4 picks and they lose?
I'll be really sad for him. I'll be really frustrated. I feel like he deserves better than that. Let it not happen.
He's proven he's played enough big games, and I think it's time to move on.
But I will say,
in the game next year,
if it happens, let it happen this week. Don't let that happen in the Super Bowl. It's one thing to go Jake Delhomme in the divisional round against the Cardinals and give up 5 turnovers. It's quite another to do the Kerry Collins and have 4, or Rich Gannon to have 5 picks in the Super Bowl, and everyone remembers it forever.
Who's excited for the USC Bowl, Darnold versus Caleb, for an NFC title?
That would be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun.
Well, this brings us to the not midway point of the show, but it is time for Cust Corner.
He's the most insane Tim Too Rich, Coke fanboy impressionist, a murderer, a fast food lover, a nuts fan who'll curse your mother, self-proclaimed man of the most. He wants his credit, he needs to boast. Doctor, Top Gun, hipster too, whatever you call him, that's up to you. He's got a corner and it's Cust. Let's hear the hot takes and discuss.
I have 2 points. One is a sartorial one, and one is a more fun one.
Is it about the Masters?
No.
Which does award sports' highest sartorial honor?
That is true. Maybe Geoff can explain this to me. Wimbledon. What do
you get for Wimbledon?
I guess you don't get anything. I guess it would be that
that like plaid jacket for the
that you get to the heritage, I guess. I don't know what the next. Yeah, I don't know what the next.
Yeah, the plaid is colonial, tartans for the heritage.
Yeah, I can't think of another clothing event.
I feel like the Kentucky Derby would give you some.
Well, you get the laurel of roses as the horse.
Maybe that's
pretty cool.
Not as good as a green jacket.
When did it become fashion to wear a hoodie indoors underneath your suit jacket? I'm seeing this on TV now all the time.
Like in TV shows?
Yes, on TV shows.
That's not real life.
Like on panels.
What are you talking about?
On like panel. Like, for example, Orlovsky this week is on.
Because they're outside.
No. They're inside doors in the studio, and he's got a hoodie and he's got a suit coat over top of his hoodie. And I've seen other people do this too recently.
I don't know that it might be a suit coat. It might be more of like a thicker
it's a blazer. It's a blazer. They're indoors. At the studio.
I'm not sure. I mean, I've seen
Where
some
is
of those
this going?
fancier hoodie.
It's fine if you want to wear a hoodie. I'm not like they're fine. I like hoodies too, but not underneath stuff. That's weird. But like underneath a suit jacket, where is every single week on Amazon? Whitworth wears one, and it's not always cold when he's at those games.
Maybe he
runs, yeah, you're right. But I don't know that
cold.
that's a suit jacket he's wearing. It's more like a thin wool coat.
I don't know, but like in September and October, he's wearing it too, Geoff, and like in hot climates. So like,
but those aren't hood. Those are more like fancy sweaters with hoods.
But when did this become a thing? It looks awful. It looks awful. I don't get it. Someone who loves them should say to them, "Don't dress like that on TV. That looks terrible." I don't understand that. I don't know where this trend is coming from, but I don't like it one bit.
It was very casual Tirico and Collinsworth on Sunday night.
I know. And then at one point he had the jacket off and was just wearing the sweater.
I went to lunch at the golf club on Sunday. Got to eat that minimum. You pay for it anyways. And the old men beside me were essentially like wearing the same thing.
How was the Knutson Club?
And Collinsworth.
How was the club?
It was. The weather had been so warm, it was sad to see. It's usually like beautifully snow covered.
That's not what I asked you. I said, how was the Knutson Club?
Oh, it was actually really good.
I bet it was. The one time I had it was awesome.
What did you have when we went there?
I had the club sandwich, and I had that basket of bread that Geoff ordered for everybody, and an ice cold DC.
It's called the bread basket.
Yeah,
it just comes to the table.
And we had that.
I guess you do after you. Because some people.
I remember Geoff saying, "I'll make sure to order the bread basket." So his second favorite server gave it to us.
In my opinion.
But remember, that's your second favorite server who gave it to us.
I like that you say this place is amazing because you had a good club sandwich
it was
there. Okay, name me the last place you had a bad club sandwich.
I don't know the last time I had a bad club sandwich.
Can you make a bad club sandwich?
You can if the bacon is like chewy, or if like the lettuce is wilty, or if the chicken is bad.
Do restaurants serve that often with wilty lettuce?
Not
soggy bacon.
But I will say,
sandwich with like turkey.
Geoff's club sandwich, so good. It was so good. It was a hot day. It paired It was a smoggy day too, and it paired beautifully with an ice cold DC, and it was so Good. Although I didn't have the chicken fingers. Next time there, I have to try the chicken fingers. And that's a segue to my next point, which is I have this idea for a restaurant.
Let's hear it.
So, you have a lot of people who are justifiably upset with the prices on menus these days and how expensive it is to go to many restaurants. I have this idea. What if you ran a restaurant and you have your menu items, but there's no fixed price? You decide what you think you should pay for the item.
Oh my God.
And before you begin by saying everyone would pick 30 cents,
No,
no one would pay.
I'm sorry, you would pick 30 cents.
The idea would be you on the honor system, you encourage people to pay what they think it's worth because you know that if you are routinely underpaying what you think that the meal is worth, that restaurant will go under, it won't be there. It's an effort by you as the restaurant to say, we get it, we know times are tough, we've got good meals, we've got dishes that have been put together. You decide what to pay. No price on the menu. It's up to you. When the check comes, it's a blank check. You write in what you think is fair for the meal that you were just served. I think people would really like that. I actually think it's got a good chance to succeed too because most people would not put 12 cents and walk away. They would say, you know what? That was a good meal. I like the idea that I get to decide how much it is. That piece of salmon was worth $19. So that's what I'm going to pay for it. Rather than... I think it'd be a really fun idea. I think it would build social capital.
Venture capitalists wouldn't go near you.
I think it would
This is one of the worst business ideas I've ever heard.
Think about it.
I just did. It took me 3 seconds to think through this and how quickly you'd be closed.
Not every.
Why wouldn't this just be a homeless shelter?
Because
People would literally, Tim, people would just pay. Like, even the people who are trying to be nice, they'd be
Imagine
like,
every customer
what
was
was
you.
this
I would
worth?
pay what I thought it was
What
worth.
was
Yeah,
this
I know, and
worth,
they'd be out of
like,
business.
Pre-inflation. Okay, $6. When like really it should be 14 or something.
But you know what? I think enough people would overpay.
No, they
that would
wouldn't.
cover for the people that
Basically,
underpay.
no one would
Not
overpay.
enough.
And because you're not allowed to pick your own price when it comes to drinks, the nights where we do serve drinks, you'd be able to make your money up on that.
So you're also at this restaurant that's making no money. You're not selling the most profitable thing you can
Well,
sell.
there'll be one or two nights where it's dry for people who can go and don't have to worry about alcohol being around them. There should be dry
How is
nights
this place
too.
staying in business?
It stays in business based on the goodwill and social capital of people who like the idea that the restaurant trusts you as their customers enough to set a price they think is fair for the meal they've already enjoyed. Instead of like having to decide what meal to order based on the price before you taste it, this time you will have tasted it and had the meal and you can properly judge how good it was. And if I'm the restaurateur, if I'm constantly putting out a dish and I'm getting way under what it should be, that tells me, oh, this is not a very good dish. I should get rid of this dish and I should put a new dish in because I'm getting the sort of the response from the people that they're underpaying for this piece of salmon or this type of...
like a floor price.
No floor price.
No, this shouldn't be a thing.
You pay what you think it's worth.
This is
Like,
really
there has
stupid.
to be a floor because you are done. Like, this place be open for 3 days.
Okay, so you're another cynical person who doesn't think this
So
can work.
someone told me that you had a restaurant idea, and I wanted to know nothing about it coming in. How different is my reaction to what you were told when you brought this up to other
I got
people?
a lot of cynical reactions from people who don't trust in the common sense of people and think that everybody is out there to scam.
Okay, but it doesn't even need to be about scamming. Think about what I would deem reasonable versus what you would deem reasonable.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that
we one of him, there's one of you.
Exactly. So it all
there's
work
way
out.
more of Tim than there is of me.
No, but in Tim's mind, we're one of what like we're
And also,
every
this
one of you,
restaurant
there's
would
one of him.
only. Also, this restaurant, which will make it so good, is it contracts all of its produce from a local farmer.
So more expensive.
It has an abattoir that it gets all its meat from.
More
it has
expensive.
dairy farmers that it gets all its cheese
More
from.
expensive.
So you know when you go to that restaurant
That it's more
you are
expensive.
supporting local stuff when you go. So again, if you are purposely going to the restaurant and paying way below what you think it's worth, you know that you're under appreciating and you're harming a local business and local producers.
Yeah, but you're getting a cheap dinner. You know how many people would line up to do this?
For every
Yeah,
one
people
person
would-
who thinks like
you
that,
vastly underrate the amount of people that would go and do this.
for every person who thinks like that, Patrick, I think that more
Like, Tim,
people
you don't
would.
understand the
I
amount
have
of
met people
You know
would be
how like
gracious.
restaurants don't let you, the restaurants that you frequent, they don't let you like parlay coupons.
Yes,
Like you can't stack them.
yes, that's
But
annoying.
let's say there was like a hack or an error in the site where you realize this coupon could actually stack on this one, like a bad line on a sports book. You would just eat it You wouldn't be like, I'm taking advantage of them.
I wouldn't do that
Wouldn't
with
be-
a local restaurant who is like a one of one and like locally
Do you know
owned.
how,
don't
but
think that people
unfortunately, to
would?
your point, do you know, unfortunately, sadly, how many of those are closing? Even
lot.
with the goodwill of local patrons, they can't. Anyhow, Tim, I want to tell you something funny.
You, the customer, set the
there's a
price.
great
I think
pizza
people would
pat-
love it.
Margins
There's
are
a
so
great pizza
thin
pat-
anyway.
pasta-
This is ridiculous.
I think it would work.
No, it wouldn't. It would be
No,
3 days
no.
out of business.
No one would invest with you. You wouldn't get a cent from a
I just
single
think
person.
you need to have more faith in your common man.
I think you need to understand how
just
business
described
works
a
a little bit
goddamn-
better.
Pat, he just described a goddamn soup kitchen.
Yeah,
No, I did not.
He did. A fancy soup kitchen.
Sounds like Jared might kind of agree. By the
Joe,
sound-
Jared,
noise
do
he
you
was
agree?
making.
Restaurant,
Or
former
soup
restaurant
kitchen. Isn't
worker.
this a
John
soup
Bon
kitchen with
Jovi literally
donations?
has one of these restaurants.
Does he
for,
really?
Like, the homeless people in LA. And they pay
That's
what they can.
You
and it's a
get what
charity.
you can.
Yeah,
It's a charity.
It's a charity.
Okay,
That's
but
what I-
He gets a lot of really good press from it.
this is
Is
not.
your business a charity?
This is not a soup kitchen.
Well, it sounds like it has the same business
But the
model
objective
as a
is not
soup
simply.
kitchen.
But the objective is also not to simply make as much profit as humanly possible.
Do you
either.
need it? Well, I mean, that's
It's to make enough to be comfortable and be happy. But you know,
there's your first swing and miss in
To make
business.
enough, to make
You're not
enough.
thinking big enough here.
I don't want to think big on
You're
this.
not even thinking about staying open.
I think that you underestimate the goodwill of the common man and woman who would happily spend what they think was a justifiably fair price for good meals and a good environment, and want this type of business to continue, and therefore to continue patronizing it and with a fair price. I really do. I think that you would build a lot
You're
of
talking
goodwill.
about like 3% of the population.
Again, I think you have a very dim view of people.
I deal with people.
I deal with people,
I work
too.
I own 3 businesses. I know how people are.
But
you know
not
what
this
they
business.
want? Something for nothing
Well-
is what people want. And myself as a consumer, very much included.
I think people would feel too guilty.
it's a you're talking about running a fucking charity is what
No,
you're doing.
no.
So out of your pocket, if you can float it like John Bon Jovi can, then fine. You will lose so much money
I don't
with this
think-
business.
I think
Because
you're-
you need to make so much money to stay open. Do you
And I think they
know
would.
that part of it?
Of course. And I think you would, because I think you'd have a lot of goodwill and you'd have a lot of repeat customers and you'd have a lot of generous customers, and you would actually find that you are making as much as you would if you set prices, because people would want to continue and sustain this business.
So the only thing, you would have to sell things if you this is not going to work. If it did, you have to sell things at cost and then have people pay extra. But do you know how many times I've served a pizza with green onion on it and people try and get it for free because it had one thing that they said they didn't want on
Yeah,
it?
think about our friend. Let's call him Dan. And he showed up to this place. What do you think he's writing down on that bill?
I think
$0.
no, I don't think
It's
so.
mine. I didn't even like it that much. $0.
I don't think most people think like that. I really don't. I think that's a very small.
You've worked in restaurants. How many people are there like this? And that's at full price.
Yeah, everybody.
I think
Everybody's trying to get something for free.
But the mindset of everybody here changes when you're in this environment. Right? You know, like you act differently, you act more ethically. I really think by and large people would support, and it actually would be a boon for social capital.
Your
I really
clientele
feel like
would be the
you're a
lowest
beautiful boy,
of the
Tim.
low.
Jared
Like
nailed it. You would get the lowest rung of society coming in. I'm not
And they don't have a right to have a nice meal? Of course they do.
Oh, I'm not talking about homeless people. I'm talking about like grifters, people who are looking to rip you off.
There will be some people
No,
who
that's
do
who's
that.
showing up to this place.
I understand.
At all times.
There are some
Do you have a filtering system of not allowing them in?
No, you know what? Your own conscience can be the filter. Let your conscience be your guide.
You should just be a science fiction writer
No.
if you think this is how society operates.
It can operate
It
this way.
doesn't operate that way.
It doesn't when our default position is that everybody is looking to scam everybody else. But most people don't live
Most
like that.
businesses try to make money.
And this one would.
No, it wouldn't.
It's
It
not,
would actively lose money.
It's not trying to shove every margin to the extreme to make every dime possible. You're right. It's not doing that. It's
A
trying
lot
to
of
make just
restaurants
enough.
aren't even doing that.
Yeah,
They're
restaurants
know.
that
barely
are doing
getting
that
by.
aren't making money.
I wonder if a shift in mindset might result in a shift in business.
No, it results in being out of business.
Well, that is one potential outcome, but
That
I
is
think
the
in Fr-
only outcome.
in
There's,
French-
there's no potentiality with any of this.
I don't know. In French,
That-
they call it a beau risque. I think it might be that.
They would like we got to move on because it's so fucking stupid. But it's like it's like the argument with seats. It's like, look at all these empty seats. Why don't they just charge $1 a ticket? No, it only takes one person to spend $100 on the ticket in that section to make it worth not giving those tickets away for $1. So I hope you can understand what I'm saying, but this
I
is
do.
insane.
I think it's a cool idea.
If you want to float it with your own personal money and go
No,
into,
I don't. I just don't want this to exist.
well, it's not going to exist unless it's some billionaire is just like, hey, I'll float it. Don't worry about it.
Well,
You're a
again,
soup kitchen. You donate locally to the food bank. What
it's
are we
not.
talking about?
This is not a food bank. I
Yeah,
mean, food banks are important, but this is not
you're
that.
not talking about
just
it like it's a
described a
food
food
bank.
bank.
The business structure is of a food bank.
I think people would actually pay more than you think.
You know what?
I know they
Let's
wouldn't.
roll reversal. I'm Tim. What are we doing? What are we doing? Come on, people. What are we doing?
Okay.
Houston and New England. New England is favored by 3 points at home, but they've decided to allow Houston to score as many points as maybe they want to score in this
All right.
game, and we'll see what ends up happening.
All right. Yeah. Okay. For all you people who clicked Houston, New England to see if you have no idea what that means.
No, I have the analytics of where people click to in these videos. It's not to jump past Cust Corner to the game.
Okay.
I can assure you
The
of
only
that.
person who wanted to jump past it was Geoff as he pointed his invisible watch. So when people are complaining how the show is too short this week, don't blame me.
I love New England in this game.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the
Short
Patriots
week to me
too.
is just crippling. I would
Yeah.
like Houston to win for a future. I feel like I got to read because the Chargers have played both these teams in the last couple weeks. I like New England as well. I'd love Houston to pull the upset, just to kick that bet down the road another week. But seems like a more than a fair price for New England at home here.
No,
But if May plays like he did play on Sunday, and there's
what if
then
Stroud plays like he plays on Monday?
that's a fair point. If
I'll
he
take the maybe MVP over CG Stroud.
if May, and this is the toughest test May is going to have defensively all season. If May buckles, as he buckled against the Chargers for the first 2 quarters of that game, Patriots are not going to win. That's all there is to it. The Texans are like the Chargers. They have very similar teams, except they're a little faster, a little stronger, they're healthier.
No Nico, probably.
But the Texans' offense is really limited. Although they found a running game yesterday.
They did, but I mean, we're not 4 or 5 weeks away from James Cook setting the all-time rushing record against the Steelers in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They don't have a run defense.
No, they don't.
And the Patriots kind of do.
That's why I'm picking the Patriots and the short rest that Geoff mentioned. That's really crucial. But there's definitely paths here for the Texans. They just need to,
of course.
if they bully the Patriots the way they bullied Pittsburgh, the way they've been bullying teams all year, they can
It
can
could be
stick good skills.
10-7.
Yeah, it could be.
13-10,
Yeah,
absolutely.
If Stroud makes fewer
They
mistakes
can.
than May, then they can totally win the game.
Houston's path to this game is how they beat the Bills in that Thursday night game. Just all-out assault.
Yeah, force May into a couple of
I mean,
mistakes.
that's
all
how they
out-
beat a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Maybe-
Just May's
Stroud
been too good.
over the top, man. He hit a couple nice balls, I think, last night.
Well, we
just like
pointed
he
the-
did-
Will Campbell looked, I mean, they talked about it on the
Yeah, he
broadcast.
did not look
He
healthy.
looked terrible. Well, if he has that type of a game with significantly better edge rushers coming down their throat, May's going to be in a world of hurt.
It is baffling. I can't comprehend how CJ Stroud looks more comfortable throwing a 40-yard dart than a 4-yard pass.
I can't believe CJ Stroud handles a snap worse than Herbert with a power glove.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the
Like, that
Nintendo
was
Power Glove
embarrassing.
from the Wiz.
Yeah, I certainly, it's frustrating because of course everybody knows how desperately I want the Texans to win the game. But I desperately wanted the Chargers to win last week. I just don't think they're going to. I don't think I'm allowed to have. I think I put this into the universe, and I'm getting what I deserve. By
You got your credit.
You picked
I know what I
you
did.
Now
picked,
you're going to get all the credit.
I
you
did,
picked
but
25% of the AFC this year.
no, but by picking the Patriots to win the AFC East, by being an advocate for them this season, by being a supporter of May and
a
going to
credit
MVP,
whore
like
for them.
the cosmic price for my success is that I can't stop it now.
So when
Unlike
they go
Dr.
to the
Frankenstein,
Super
I can't
Bowl-
stop the monster. Exactly.
when
And
they
they're
go
gonna
to the Super Bowl, do you think you'll do a credit show? Like you'll
no,
want
because
credit?
this is my greatest fear is that like they go to the Super Bowl and Sam turns the ball over 4 times in the Super Bowl to the Patriots, and like that's how he face plants. Like
Well, the optimal matchup.
it's just all. I can see it now, and it's terrible.
Yeah, the ultimate like reverse curse Super Bowl would be Patriots against 49ers.
That's true. I need the Seahawks to win because I think I really don't think anyone in the AFC is close to their caliber. I feel like if they can just stay alive, I'll be okay. I just like if I lose
Your
them,
whole life, the next like month is about the Bills or Patriots not winning the Super Bowl.
Patriots more so than the Bills, but yes, obviously the Bills as well. But like, first things first, let's work on the Patriots, and then we'll worry about Buffalo later. Maybe Denver will take care of the Bills for us, but I'm far less concerned because I may need Buffalo to beat the Patriots next week. And so if I have the Bills still for that, that's fine. I'll use them happily to get rid of the Patriots.
You're not wrong about the step up in class for May against a defense like this. The problem is that the Houston offense is just so bad. Like he doesn't have to do that much. At least I don't think. Maybe Stroud will hit his over the top passes and boom, all of a sudden. But without Collins, it's going to be tough. Christian Gonzalez might not play in this game. I'm trying to think of who the other like good defenses. That's Houston's schedule. Where are the Patriots here? So let's take a look at the Patriots.
Played no one.
They played nobody. I mean,
was the Chargers defense the best defense they had played all year? That was last
Well,
week.
they played the Browns, but when you're so bad at quarterback, I feel like
when they played the Steelers healthy in like week 3 or 4,
and turned the ball over
Steelers turned them over.
Like
Steelers turned them over a lot. Yeah, like that would be like the closest I can think of.
That's really it.
Yes, Houston's the best defense they'll have played. Houston's going to cause them a lot of problems. If Stroud hits something over the top and all of a sudden Houston's up, then sure, maybe May can find trouble. But otherwise, May will probably handle himself fine.
Yeah. So New England, for all of us, Coin will be taking the Texans. Final game, Rams at Bears. Bears are 3.5-point dogs at home, 49's the total. Everyone seems to be pretty sure Devontae Adams is playing.
I don't know.
He didn't seem great to me. Seemed kind of out of it. That's me. Maybe he's fine.
I don't know what to do here because like the Bears are clearly living an extremely charmed life.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But sometimes these things don't stop all year. Sometimes they just keep going is the thing. And the Rams haven't looked right for a month. Pretty much since the second half of that Thursday night game, nothing has looked right for them. They have been, they frittered away that game against Seattle. They were outclassed up and down the field by the Falcons. The Cardinals had them against the ropes in a meaningless game. And
The
like
Raiders
last
have them on the ropes.
and then like last week, it was like the Panthers had every chance to finish them off. So like the Rams haven't looked really good for a month, and so that concerns me. And Chicago has like all the good luck on their side, but I feel like Chicago just won the Super Bowl, and I like to pick against teams that feel like they just won their Super Bowl, and that's why I'm taking the Rams. Hard to get up for like the amount of cathartic joy that team had winning a wild card game. I feel like it's hard to bottle it up and then like come right back out the next week and knock somebody out. So that's why I'm taking the Rams.
It's one thing to win the wild card game and like have so much emotion about that. It's another thing to win a wild card game where you came back from like down 20 points.
Oh yeah, and against your arch rival.
I
get it.
The Parmesan Reggiano sprinkles all over the building.
But that's why I want to fade. That's why I want to fade him this week.
Actually, you kind of stole my logic. Not that I had a hard lean in this game, but it was simple as like fade the team off like their greatest win in 8 years, maybe 20 years. Right?
And the playoffs are replete with these examples of teams that win these miraculous or super exciting games in the playoffs, and then the next week, oh goodness, the hammer.
But
comes.
the Rams defense can get got.
I'm taking Chicago here. I think this is just if you're going to play DraftKings in a game, you take this game. This game's going over.
It's going to be like 6 degrees or 7 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's fine.
That's like minus 20.
Sure.
Oy,
that's
bad
for the Rams.
It's probably not great for California Caleb either.
Yeah, but less of a trouble for him than it would be for an indoor LA team.
Yeah.
I think.
Is it?
I think.
You adapt a little. He walks outside in the morning every day at least.
Yeah, he practices outside or spends time outside. I mean,
I think they're practicing outside.
You would be this week.
They're probably multi-purpose. The Bears probably have multi-purpose.
Their practice facility is an indoor facility. They can go outside.
I'm sure they are outside all week.
I'm sure that's been practice all this week is outside, fellas. I'm sure that's not the case.
No, I think it's inside to run a clean operation, but it's probably multi-purpose.
Yeah, you can go out and you can try to get people acclimated to the cold. But you also don't want to send your guys out in the cold for 6 straight days and practice taking hits. Just end up injured before the game.
That's true.
The run, Tim said it, like these runs, they could just be magical. But if you reverse engineered some of this shit, like the Bears 500 team, but they're not, and they're here. And Caleb, that was so awesome. That was so cool. Him and that coach together, they're on the up and up. Honestly, the Bears and the Patriots, even if they don't go to the Super Bowl, I guess it depends who goes. I don't see how the Bears and Patriots both might both, even without going to the Super Bowl, end up second and third in my rankings at the end of the year in terms of fan headspace.
Great. Great.
What, that bothers you?
Yeah, of course it does. Not so much the Bears side of it.
Oh, this was your Super Bowl team last year.
Yeah, no, I'm aware.
You're a year early, Tim.
A year early.
The Rams love like bleeding points late, so I think the back door is definitely there for the Bears either way.
Oh, totally. I
made
get
an
it.
amazing bet live in this game. Caleb Williams passing yards over. Some of my buddies were betting the Bears like live plus the points, but I was like, no, like if they come back at anything, they don't even need to come back. He's going to go off. He only had like 76 yards in the first half. Laddered that shit all the way like over 300. I lost a lot of bets last weekend, so I'll brag about a good one.
I needed one rushing yard from Aaron Rodgers to win $2,300, and he didn't get it. He had it too, and he tripped going as he was taking off.
That sucks.
Yeah, it happens. Shit
Yeah,
happens
I'm
when
just
you
going
party
on
make it.
priors here. Like a month ago, I would have said maybe the Rams are the best team in the league and the Bears are fluke sack, and they're still playing and they're playing each other. So it's kind of my priors, and I'm afraid of the weather, clearly, but I'm not. I'm picking the Rams.
I think the play is the Saturday teaser. Tease the Broncos and the Seahawks.
See, I like it the other way. I feel more comfortable like teasing both those teams, depending on what you get the Bills number at, teasing up San Francisco, teasing up Buffalo.
Okay.
Just because I like those two sides.
I'd like,
and
all right.
I like the Rams enough. I still think the Rams are super dangerous here, and they're still basically co-favorites to win the Super Bowl.
I mean,
my
look, the NFC Championship game we deserve is Seahawks-Rams.
So that means the Niners are going to force their way in
Those
there.
have been the best two teams in the NFC for like 3 months, and it is the NFC Championship game that would be most justified.
For my heavy piece Seahawks future, I probably should be cheering for the Bears.
Yes, definitely. You'd rather take Chicago on than yeah. I think.
All right.
Sam does not do well against the Rams. He has a history of throwing.
Hey, he came back and beat them.
It still required him to throw. He still threw several picks in that game. Like, I take my chances with Chicago.
It's fair. I'll do it on the Pat Mayo Experience. We got Geoff out of here in time.
We did.
I didn't have any constraints. I was just saying this idea is so batshit that, like, let's get the train moving again.
Okay.
Unless you got another batshit idea or you want to save it for next week.
No, that was my idea, but you had no time for it.
Your Jets
We had
quarterback.
plenty of time for it. You went in a huge circle to explain a food kitchen
Yeah,
to us.
we should ask the fans who spent more time today explaining their craziness on the show, whether I did or the 33 minutes you used off the top.
Listen, I've been well behaved all year. You went on an Usain Bolt like run. Like you couldn't even get your shins into a fucking bobsled moving.
Oh, I forgot about that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
I was not going to say
cursed
anything.
bobsledding.
I wasn't going to say
Those those Olympians ate it trying to get into the bobsled, but you, sir, not a problem.
I would be that guy who got in and doesn't know how to steer.
Oh yeah, you would be the first guy. You'd be the guy up front, keeping pace with the really fast
These
guys in the
are
back.
brick shit houses.
Got 5 steps and hop in.
Oh
More
my
than five
God.
steps.
5 powerful
you would
steps
eat it
and you
so
jump in.
badly on that ice. You're afraid to go down your stairs if there's ice on it.
People
How
fall.
high do you even think you could get your fucking ham hock?
It's just leverage. You just use the side of the thing and just rather pull yourself up.
You would pull yourself
It's
up.
like
Like you
getting
use, like you push yourself up. It's
Like
like
push, not pull.
Yeah,
I think
push.
you'd want to pull
no,
yourself
you
up
push
into
yourself
a
up.
bobsled.
Yeah, your upper body actually matters there.
It would. You're correct. Not like jumping.
Well, that matters too.
No, you said more. You said the upper body matters more jumping than legs do.
Did you see the AI thing I sent you this week, where AI said that sweeping and curling is more difficult than pole vaulting?
And this is who you want to run our snow removal system.
Tim, you know what I'm gonna do tonight? It's a
No.
good thing. I feel good. It's cold. It's cold. You know, people are less fortunate. I'm not even mocking, despite it being mocking. When you make a donation to like the local food bank, the soup kitchen, it's an empty number. You could donate $1. You could donate anything.
Yes.
That's all. Sounds familiar.
Just being very dismissive of any sort of creativity or originality.
Has anyone liked this idea?
I saw you at the gym on Saturday, Geoff. I was watching the TV and TSN had the stuff on. And
Did they really?
And there was Geoff on the dugout.
Oh, I was on the TV.
You were on the TV. I was at the gym on Saturday. Actually, I ran into Tambo. I was working out at the same time Tambo was working out. And I was flabbergasted. Here I am working out. I knew it was coming, but I didn't know they would show that shot. They were showing the like clips of the World Series or something. And there it was. And it happened. I thought, oh no, there's Geoff. Sprawled out on
Thanks for feeling sad for me.
I did. That's awful. I hope that image somehow goes away. I don't want that for you.
No, it's not.
I don't want that for you. I don't want the rest of your life to be like me watching TSN top 10s while I'm at the gym, and sooner or later there's Geoff.
Well, no
sprawled
one's
out
watching
like
them
Mr.
but you, so I'm not concerned.
People at the gym are watching what are on those screens.
Oh yeah, painfully.
Yes, but like that's what was on the TV screen on Saturday when I was exercising. And there you were, and I felt bad for you all over again.
Okay.
Thought I mentioned I saw you again.
In the wild.
Yeah, sort of.
We'll do it on the Pat Mayo Experience. I want to thank Dayton and Jared for producing the show, the Coin for making picks, Geoff for giving his heart out in the first 33,000 minutes of this show, and of course, Tim Andergust.
Not my name.
For sitting here and listening. You came back strong.
I thought so. Did some judging.
Get your gavel.
Got my gavel.
Got your wig.
Got my wig.
Are you sad that you don't get to bring it home with you? You must leave it here.
That's okay. I want to leave it here. So
no,
it's
you
here.
let him go home and role play.
No, I'm happy. I'm already waiting for championship week because we got time to fill on championship week.
Hey, we've done pretty. We went over 2 hours each of the past 2 weeks.
We got 2 games next week.
Hey, we spent like a combined total of 13 minutes talking about the 4 games this week.
I know, but like we're not going to have Chargers talk radio for the first hour next week.
No, but we can listen. We'll be doing it Monday night next week. We'll be able to recap the games pretty fresh.
Yeah,
there'll be more news, I'm sure. There'll be hirings.
Do you have like a Jets quarterback list to give us or something?
We do.
I do have a list.
Yeah, we're saving that for we need to fill time.
Yeah. We're saving it for when we need time.
The Chargers fucking lost in the playoffs. It's like that show. It's like what you want from me.
No. I'm not criticizing you. I'm just saying next week we're not going to have that. So we're not going to have as much time. We're going to have more time to fill. I'm not being critical. I'm just saying I don't know what we're going to fill our time with next week. That's all.
You say this every week. Like we can't find things.
Do you
know how many Judge Cust
you.
emails I have? Like 50.
Okay.
And there's one really good one that I'm saving.
I mean, we might as well just do Geoff's lib corner next week too.
I could do it. They're not bad. It's not offensive. I would.
So why don't you? You know what?
Mine would be blown.
Next week, you give us one.
No, we can't do it in football season.
You give us one next week. I know next week is the finale of football season, according to Geoff. That's right. So let's save it.
It is. It's the greatest. Screw Super Bowl party. Like, have a party next week.
No,
it's over. It's the end of football season next week.
It's
so
over.
We'll go out with our season finale.
We still got this show. We got golf on Mondays as well. So continue watching along fantasygolfchampionships.com if you're not in the one and done as of yet. We have the leaderboard for the Underdog Pick'em week 1 as well. That's down in the description right now if you want to check it out. Pat Mayo, not doing well. I'll see you next time.
Pat Mayo Experience.
Tim, you want to know something? You want to know I'm nuts because I'll notice things like no one else will notice.
Fire away.
Nick Sirianni was wearing last year.
Oh, he was wearing last year's hat. And it wasn't just him. The Niners coach had the
and Kyle Shanahan was wearing an older.
I made a note of this.
Hat.
I made a note of this. That all of a sudden, coaches in the playoffs, when you have the most eyeballs on you, don't have to wear league-approved current.
Well, yeah, I
stuff.
guess they just as long as it's like, yeah, maybe.
I notice it. Okay, so I notice these things too, Jeffrey. Don't worry. Because I really don't like this year's sideline toque with looks like that knitted old hat that just says Eagles on it or whatever. Like I noticed that he had a different hat on. But I guess maybe that's the one they wore like last year in the snow versus the Rams, and that's why he's wearing it.
His lucky hat.
I guess so.
And I liked last year when they went to the white camo for the salute to service.
Yeah, I don't hate it either, but you're right. They weren't wearing like approved gear.
Well, it was approved gear, just not of
just
the
dated.
year.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah.
But I was gonna say in the playoffs, as long as it's got like a new era as long as it's a new era hat, maybe they don't really care.
I guess. Well, I mean, obviously. they find guys if they wear the wrong color sock out on the field, but like Sirianni can strut around in an old hat. I guess that's allowed.
Yeah, do you think it's more about like they demand it because they want to sell product, and you couldn't even buy that hat in the Eagles store still?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
No,
like
I find
the
it,
online store.
Hmm.
So for no other reason than they'll fine you because they believe that it is it's like right? It's winter
yeah.
where we live, where lots of Eagles fans certainly live, and you want them seeing that official hat being worn by the official personnel. But you know what, Tim? I would be so lucky to be able to have a conversation about me being mad at my offensive coordinator's hat choices.
Experience!